Welcome back to more playoff action from the Esport Company's High School League. It's your boy Nizzy, taking a look at Rocket League Division 1 playoff action. And here's what the current bracket looks like. Let's take a look at our top 5 plays of the crazy plays that happened last week. Let's take a look at number 5. It's going to be Brian Black, 31 of Hollidaysburg. Just alone on goal, only 2 defenders to pop that ball over, and does so. And at number 4, Brian Black's going to take that position again as our number 4 play. Not enough challenge, and he capitalizes on it by putting that one home in the back of the net. Let's take a look at our number 3 play. It's going to be Gateway's Licks the Boss, passing it to 7 Joler. Take a look at this setup here. Going off the wall. Gets 2 taps off the ceiling, leaving that home for Joler to put that home right in the right spot at the right time for that number 3 play. And now our number 2 play. Who else? Pig Beast going off the ceiling, just juggling all over the place and putting that one home for that number 2 play. But our number 1 play is going to be Pig Beast again. This one is 2 goals. I'll level with you. It's so good that we had to include both of them in there. You see that air dribble there by Pig Beast, getting that 5th goal of that game. The series is 2-0 in favor of Forest Hills over Bishop Carroll, and Pig Beast takes care of business with that 5th goal. Boom! And right as soon as the ball is touched off, he goes in for a second one. Hollidaysburg taking out Gateway 3-2. Forest Hills 3-0 over Bishop Carroll. And let's take a look again at our playoff bracket. We're getting close to championship time. Nizzy's out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the semifinals of the Esport Company's High School Division 1 Rocket League action. Almost there. I am Sizz. Joining alongside me today in the booth is Foof. And Foof, what a wonderful climax of our season to be here in playoffs between these teams that worked so hard to get here. It's time. It's action.
Sizz, Father Sizz, it is always the best time of the year when it's win and continue on and lose and go home. And so both of these teams know the stakes, but Hollidaysburg coming off a big, as you saw in that pre-week wrap-up last week, Penn Trafford, the undefeated team of the regular season, having that first round bye, now looking at this Golden Tigers team and looking to overcome them as they did in the regular season. And so when you look at this bracket, I mean, it is having this bye really helps Penn Trafford. They get a chance to watch literally everyone play, and now are going against that number 4 seed of Hollidaysburg, whereas Somerset moved on above the 7th seed, and Forest Hills with the 3-0, as you saw, move on to the game we'll be seeing after this one. But Penn Trafford, that one, Penn Trafford Warriors, the W always throws me for a loop, but undefeated season. Won a lot last year and are winning a lot this year too.
They are trying to resume their position as being the champions. Back-to-back, can't get better than that, and that's going to go down in history of their school as one of their feats here in the esports side of things. Hollidaysburg, like you mentioned, that Game 5, they squeaked their way to meet this Titan team. And, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of well, we've got the alpha team here of Penn Trafford coming in. We've got Hollidaysburg, who struggled a little bit towards the closing of the season. They've made their way here, though. They've squeaked through the quarterfinals, so now it's time to see who they're going to field today in these rosters. Penn Trafford, I mean, we've seen this team, they're using the same lineup here. PK, Rye, and Tizzy, who is that Ford F-250.
250 now.
250 now. He upgraded.
I gotta say, the big thing that really sticks out to me is this team is that they average almost 8 to 9 shots a game with these 3 players. And so that is an incredibly high-powered offense, and I expect to see a lot more continuing, as they have not had the highest assist totals, but with that amount of shots, you're going to start finding it if the defense has any issues on the backboard. But then you look on the other side of the pitch, Hollidaysburg, the Golden Tigers, bringing in their trio of Ryan Black, Donald Duck Roar, and Nathan 517, if I remember correctly. And this is a team on paper, their offense at time is lackluster, but they know how to get it done standing at a 3-3 record.
They do indeed. I really think in terms of the player to look out for this team, it has to be Donald Duck. I've talked about him a lot throughout the season. I'm going to still be talking about him. He's a shooter. He's just a menace on the field. He's what every team, I think, really needs. It's just a disruption on and off the ball, knowing how to create so much for his team. And if I remember correctly, last time that they played Penn Trafford, he wasn't playing. He wasn't able to make that game. So we haven't yet to we've yet to see this hidden weapon for this team come up against Penn Trafford. But on the other side of things, Penn Trafford, they're still Penn Trafford. Whether or not you have a hidden weapon, they know how to play Rocket League. They know how to run their offense. They know how to keep going. So I mean, it's still a crazy feat to be going on. But the players here, they're on Champions Field here for this matchup. I mean, any players that you personally looking out for, disagree, agree, throw something out there at me.
So, I was giving you space because I wanted to say, if Penn Trafford has anyone in their marketing or clothing department listening, you need to get a shirt or hat made that says Penn Trafford is Penn Trafford with the logo on it. I would buy that, because that is an awesome thing to be, especially when you are looking to become back-to-back champions in both divisions and possibly 2 games. But my player to look at is going to be PK, as he was the leader on this Penn Trafford team, not in shots, not in goals, but in assists, as he has been that point guard-esque player to set his team up. So I'm wondering what he can do in the opening stages of game number 1 of a best of 5 to try and put his team in a good spot to overcome.
PK taking control. We see him has the work with the Finnick, has the dribble moves, trying to get it past Nathan. Doesn't bite on the fake, though, getting bumped out for his efforts. Ride the back pass to Ford for a light touch off the sidewall to himself. Donald will intercept, though. A great challenge at the midfield, and Brian's going to come in. A quick hit to the backboard, can't get the net. Nathan is there. That one's going to be denied. A quick early shot. Pressure here from Hollidaysburg, but Penn Trafford's defense is holding on. PK looks to start the counter.
An awful spot to be in, and PK taking it himself. You talked about the Finnick play, and this time box plus circle equals goal as he survives the contact.
I mean, PK just doing it all early on in this game. It's really all you had to do in that situation. Getting it past 2 players, and then the perfect shot down the middle on the last one. Early goal here for Penn Trafford. Starting off strong, and we've seen this a lot. This is their strong suit, is early leads.
An awkward spot here is all the players in Penn Trafford were retreating on the same sidewall. Need to be careful there on the defensive spacing. Nathan, though, such a quick turn to immediately put this pressure back onto the Warriors. They do have that 1-goal lead, but this is an opportunity. Brian Black, though, a bit too slow to it, as PK getting a demo on that third diffuses most of this pressure. So back to midfield and back to a clear we go. A double commit from PK. Nathan putting a touch on, but it's a bit too high. Donald Duck, a slow turn, looking to try and find a touch, but no shot following it up.
Oh, dangerous situation there, and Rye, he's just been hitting the weight room.
I apologize. I set you kind of up for failure there. Put you in just 0 airspace. I was thinking maybe Brian would commit, but just retreating the whole length of the field. Rye has a beautiful read, and so 3.5 on the clock, and it's a 2-goal lead.
And I think that shows the importance of your touches, the quality touches you get. And speaking of quality touches, Donald just making me eat my words straight off the kickoff is going to find an open net, and that's a great way to counter for Hollidaysburg.
I mean, this is a beautiful setup. We're going to call it calculated, but I don't know how calculated it was, but that is exactly what you want to do on a loose kickoff. You can find your touch. Nathan and company bite into the lead and make it 2-1.
So both teams looking to settle down just a little bit here. The defense looking a little bit shaky, but still a lot of time left in this game. A high-scoring game early on. Nathan, a quick shot launch is going to be cleared away to the sidewall. Still staying on, keeping the pressure, looking to get it past the midfield. That's a dangerous touch from Ford, but Rise there to clean it up. Brian waiting at the midfield. Gets bumped out of his efforts. It's going to clear up a lot of space here for Penn Trafford. PK just taking all the time in the roll to take this 50, but goes straight to Ford. A little bit of a bump going on between him and Brian. Looking for the slow play. The Penn Trafford, it's not something I don't think we've really seen a lot, is a lot of slow, kind of methodical dribbling plays, but they're bringing it out here. Clearly, they have something coming into this game that they're trying to work against this Hollidaysburg team.
Well, they're trying to find hooks almost to dig in on this offensive front, and at points they have made it work, and other times they've lost possession like this. It just runs back down, but their defense sound enough to stave off this Golden Tiger offense, as that is an open door, but Donald Duck crossing the net means there's no shooter. It's up to Nathan now, who's a bit too overzealous. Donald Duck overzealous as well, and so 2 players miss, 3 missing, as Nathan can't find the touch on the way back. Just the ball dancing around midfield, as I think the jitter's getting to both sides here.
As I say, generally the third time is the charm, but not in this situation. Brian controlling the ball to his corner. Lexus hit it very high off to the sidewall. PK too awkward for that. Rise also very awkward. The back pass from Brian, but it's just a little bit too hard for Donald to control, so Nathan will take time, popping it up very high, has to avoid the bump. Low boost, can't really do a lot here. Looking for the demo. It's going to force PK to back off. Donald looks like he collided with another car, and PK again at 1v1 with Brian, trying to fake him out, but you can't do it. Brian solid on the defensive line as we're approaching 90 seconds to go.
Oh, but I love that idea for the pass coming from Ford F250, but it could not get its fall. Donald Duck goes under the ball, and so now it's really awkward as he's demoed. His teammate opened the door, but it's slammed shut by Rye, who is headhunting on this defensive third like a linebacker, just floating for a hit. And now back at midfield, once again, still a 1-goal deficit. Donald Duck wanting this pressure. And now the Golden Tiger, they need to find one and need to find it quick. Excuse me.
Right off the backboard. That's a very dangerous touch. Donald maybe just rushed that one a little bit too much, so couldn't get that one to the back of the net. Brian, that's a great challenge in midfield. Nathan trying to beat it, but Ford is faster. It's going to be an open net. No one is home. He's going to put it away. Yes, he will. 3-1 Penn Trafford.
See, this isn't what you talk about when you think of Ford cars. Not their speed, you think of the power, you think of the durability, but this is the quickness and agility of the 2013 Ford F250.
Again, Hollidaysburg, they're getting these opportunities. They're getting so close, and we see they're just not able to make contact. I feel like they're maybe rushing themselves, getting a little bit too caught up in the pace of the play, so they're forgetting the basic fundamentals of what they need to do. That's a great touch from Nathan down to Donald. Maybe back to Nathan. Nathan, the redirect. Go win, Nathan. That's a perfect shot.
I mean, kickoffs are too OP. It's the only time when you're going to have these players discombobulated, and Nathan takes full advantage of it. The near post, not even open. It was just ajar, and now it's 2-3, a 1-goal deficit once again.
Plenty of time here in game number 1 for Hollidaysburg to tie this series back up. But Penn Trafford, when they give up a goal, they're generally going to take one right back. That's a great 50 from Nathan down the other side. Donald getting a nice challenge. Nathan very high off the backboard, had to beat out the last man, but still keeping the pressure on here. Still Donald looking to get it past one, but it'll be easily cleared away by PK. 23 seconds to go, and Penn Trafford, well, it looks like they're just trying to waste time. You got to get someone on the ball eventually.
All right. Putting her on the sidewall here. That's awkward spacing here from the Warriors as they are discombobulated. Brian just needs to put it through. It's a tie ball game with 11 left.
What is happening? Penn Trafford here, both players drive next to the ball, both of them maybe having too much faith in the other one to hit it, and they're like, wait a second. Brian just takes the ball right out of their cars. 11 seconds to go, and we've got a tied game.
You know what I mean? Where the two characters are driving past each other and they have the surprise face. I mean, that's what I saw as Rye looked to put it away, but cannot get it to go. 4-3-2. Now the ball floating on this Golden Tiger side as they clear it down, and we have game 1 overtime in a 3-3 setting.
And ask for a closer start to this in your semifinals here. Forward trying to keep this pressure. Nice 50 to the midfield, but there's no one there for Penn Trafford. Donald getting bumped out. It's going to set up right here. PK grabbing all of the boost, trying to starve out the player, but Brian is there corralling this one. PK clear down to the midfield. Still staying on this. Gets a great second touch, but Donald is there just to boom it down to the other side. Both teams, I think, realizing they have to clean up their mistakes. Donald, that's a great pass to midfield, but PK is there for the clear. No one wants to overcommit here. That's a great demo. Nathan, a pass down. Donald's there. He's got to be there. And Hollidaysburg take the game from Penn Trafford.
I wanted to see that pass go a bit higher, but they used the backboard just enough, get the defender to move. Rye can't get there, and Donald Duck taking game one off of Penn Trafford. The Warriors, who were undefeated, Sis, in the regular season, lose their first playoff game.
Just taking it right out of Penn Trafford. They were like, yeah, we got a 3-2 lead. We're just gonna waste time. It's like, wait a second. All right, we had a little bit of a mess up here. We gave them up a goal. Let's not panic, and then turn right around. A gorgeous pass down to Donald. Picture perfect placement. And Hollidaysburg, they've come here proof. They're ready to play some Rocket League.
I mean, it was both squads coming and standing toe to line and daring the other to blink first. And at the end, it was just a small miscue on the defensive side. We saw it time and time again from Penn Trafford. The Warriors looked to step up and find a clear, but had a couple of people over-rotate, and that is the one that ends up biting them in the end. If they can clean that up, it's a lot more sounder on the defensive side, but it all comes down to communication. The Warriors now need to be communicating, Sis, because they're down 0-1.
I think this is where you realize, all right, this team, if we underestimated them before, there's no time to do it now. They have come here to fight. They have fought us, and we are the ones. Penn Trafford are the ones that are having to recuperate. We have never, hardly ever said that for this team, but they are having to do it now. See if they could do it here as Rye looks to start the offense.
Yeah, I don't know if Penn Trafford's ever had to regain. They've just always gained, and so now they've had to reset the breakers and find their footing as this ball's out at midfield. That's a demo coming from PK, and he has a double kill on the board, and Rye was looking to be in a dangerous spot, now being the danger himself. That's another shot coming from Donald Duck. PK can get there, diving to get the epic save. 30 seconds in, and a heavy blow is already being traded.
Both teams looking to find that gap. Speaking of gaps, Nathan, a quick shot, but Ford, great save. Now setting up the counter. Looked to get the Cuxer pinch. Wasn't able to get much power, but still Rye is there to crowd. Low boost, looking to just be annoying. Brian, pass one. Donald is there, completely dusting him out before, just waiting for that ball. Pops it high, but gets demoed away. Another demo in the backfield from PK. Lots of physical plays coming out. And PK again is there. Lots of big booming clears from these teams. That slow play that we saw last game is not starting out this one.
Well, both teams have been able to throw the offense and find ways to score, and that's 250 looking for it. A save from Brian Black. You're kidding me. Keeps this one out of the back of the net. Nathan with the clear to midfield. PK a quick turn, but Donald Dunk has the dunk. And F4 250. That's off the ceiling. It's going to be a pass off the backboard, but Nathan reads it. Donald putting it over one. That's a 2v1, but 2013 Ford F250. A bit too tall on the defensive side.
Maybe you make him a 350 after today's game, but regardless, Nathan still staying on this ball. Brian, no boost, actually gets the touch. Rye was thrown off by that. Donald just keeping this in, securing the boost. That's huge, trying to maintain the presence on the field right now. Nathan's not able to get the touch. That's very dangerous. PK launches out to them. Donald gets a nice save, and Brian will look to set up the counter. I mean, poof, you just blink, and both teams are on the other offensive side.
This is what in the business we call a track meet. Just running to see who falls first. PK wanted to save it and ends up setting it up. Donald Duck playing it to perfection.
What do you do if you're PK here? You have Nathan trying to get you on the demo there. You have to get around him. You managed to avoid the demo, and Donald is just waiting, ready to dunk you into your nest. So Hollidaysburg starting out this game with a lead, early presence, early pressure, and Penn Trafford, they have gone. This is rare for them. I mean, that's crazy to say, but this is rare for them to go this long in the game without finding the back of the net.
Yep, and it's not been lack of opportunities. They have 4 shots on the day, but there are 4 saves on these Golden Tiger cars. And Penn Trafford, the Warriors, they are your reigning champs in Division 1 and Division 2 Rocket League. They want to find their second in a row this season, but now they have to overcome a 1-game deficit and a 1-goal deficit in game number 2. Ford F250 wanting to get something going on the offensive end, but right now the Golden Tigers have their way.
PK gonna try to get a quick shot. Donald does get the touch, but gets demoed out of the way. Rye trying to keep this one in, but Hollidaysburg, perfect defense right now. Brian Launching this pass 1-4, trying to get to the pinch, can't do so, but Rye's there for the cleanup. High pass off the backboard. Is anyone there? It's going to be cleared off by Donald Ford. They're meeting at the midfield again. The infield pass gets intercepted by Nathan Rye, trying to meet this ball, but Donald is there. Low boost, can only get one touch. So PK launches it to the backboard. Looked to set up the double, but didn't get the great touch. That's a miss from Nathan. It's going to be an open net for PK, and off of the defensive error, Penn Trafford strike back.
Well, that is just one that it unfortunately goes off the backboard. They were the recipients of a goal last game, this time unable to clear it off of the backboard. And PK taking full advantage of it and notching it one apiece with 105 left in game 2.
Kickoff gets lost in the favor for PK off of the ceiling. Very hard touch. Gets a touch at the end, managed to fall into it, but he's going to have to leave that for Rye. Rye looking for the double attempt. That was a crazy angle. Nathan completely demolishing for it on that 50. PK, another bang across the field, and Brian is just waiting for it. I think both teams have understood that, you know, this is a little bit of a bang. When they're stuck in their half, they're just going to look for this big booming clear, so there's always someone waiting for it. But wait a second. Speaking of waiting, the defense, did they bump each other? I didn't even see what happened here, Proof.
No, it was just a miscommunication with all three players wanting to dive into the corner. No one in that back player making that save. It opens the door, and Rye takes full advantage of it. The Penn Trafford Warriors, poised and ready to strike, now go up by 1.
Uncharacteristic mistakes here, Hollidaysburg, on the defensive side of things. You don't want to see those. You're going to have to clean those up, or Penn Trafford is going to take this game right out of your hands. Nathan off of the corner, looking to get the double, can't do it. Donald trying to get the shot, but wasn't able to do so. It sets up forward, looking to take this dunk, but Brian smartly playing that one around him. Nathan, a big 50s. We're under a minute to go here. Nathan can't get that shot past Donald for the cleanup. Still trying to keep this going. They're trying to get some sort of offense going, but PK setting up and has a lot of time here, looking to work on the defense. Look at the flick. It's off the crossbar. Ford, can you put it away? No, that was going to be off the backboard. Rye's going to take his shot, and that will be denied.
That is an opportunity that's arisen, but they cannot get it to fall. PK looking for the 50, installs it for the time being. Right now, Ryan Company still stuck on their own half, but have that 1-goal lead. Rye into the corner. Brian back, wants to find a touch. That keeps it in the goalie's box. Brian needs to be a savior here, and that was his own teammate pressuring the goal. You know what? Maybe the contested defense was what they needed. Is Nathan looking for a backboard pass. That's a good change of pace, but it got his teammate. And so Donald Duck isn't there to find the shot. All three players from the Golden Tigers still on the offensive end. Ford, F250, wants to find a clear and does. Now 5 left on the clock. PK wanting to hold onto this ball and milk this clock. It's in front of this goal. Ford is going to push it down, and Penn Trafford, the Warriors, able to knot it up 1-1.
Well, things just got a lot more interesting here. Penn Trafford, this time doing what Hollidaysburg did, taking the game right out of the hands of Hollidaysburg, using it to their own advantage. 1-1 here. And I mean, what a series has already been, Poop. It's only been 2 games. And I mean, these teams are just neck and neck. They're so close.
I mean, it just opens the door for both teams to now have to adjust to what they have seen the other do. Hollidaysburg has had pressure at times, but their midfield stance becomes a bit too aggressive, and we saw the overcommitments on the defensive side, so it opens the door for Penn Trafford. And so the Warriors, they had the bugaboos again when they had a bit overzealous defense and had some missed touches. They've cleaned it up and were able to overcome that obstacle and now take game 2, standing in a 1-1 here, and basically becomes a best of 3, sis. Who can win this 3-game race? That team will be moving on to the finals.
I think Hollidaysburg, the biggest thing for them right now is they've got to start cleaning up these, I wouldn't say careless mistakes, but mistakes you can't make against a team like Penn Trafford, because really both of those goals that went in wasn't really Penn Trafford doing a lot of crazy stuff on the offensive side of things. It was just defensive miscommunications and errors. So clean those up. That's a great chance here. Donald starting off, but not getting a lot as PK does get the clear. Nathan keeping this in. Rye off of the backboard will clear it down to the side. So a few shots here from Hollidaysburg, trying to get some pressure going, but not too much going on right now.
Not too much at all, but it still was the first 30 seconds. And in game 2, we saw fireworks, but either team couldn't land. Donald Duck looking for a far post shot. That's going to be right in the nose. PK has a save, but Nathan goes the other way. And so shot 1 into shot 2 means goal 1 for the Golden Tigers.
Great shot there from Donald, and PK tried getting the clear. I think Ford maybe expected maybe a bigger hit there instead of just bouncing off the post. Made him very awkward on the side, and just picture perfect placement from Nathan to slot it to the right side of the goal. 4:24 on the clock, and Hollidaysburg starting off the last game with an early lead.
early lead is exactly what you want when you're coming off a loss. Now Nathan in the air, but got a bit too overzealous using the flip early. So Ford over 1-1 to get over 2 here past that midfield line, but it's immediately sent back. And Rye responding in kind. That's going to be an open shot for PK, who collects it. He's been the assist man all year, but he is collecting his goals in this series.
Just a banger of a pass off the sidewall. Nathan wasn't able to get that read, a very difficult read, mind you, and PK finds the back of the net there. Just in the blink of an eye, Penn Trafford striking right back. That's a great passing play. It's what we want to see from this team. But Hollidaysburg, they have met them at every inch on the field, refusing to give them space. But 1-1, 3:55 to go on the clock. And Penn Trafford here, getting a little bit stuck in their own side of things, but Rye does get it past one.
Past one, PK looking for a near post shot. Nathan, though, daring that player to put a shot on net, and he's able to make that save. Tim opening the door, but Rye pushing it back, and so we find ourselves in a 1-1 dance with 90 seconds off the board here, Sis, in game number 3, tied in the series, tied in the game.
A rare double commit here from Penn Trafford is going to elect Brian to launch it down. Donald's waiting on the corner, isn't able to get a good touch, though, and PK will just roll it down to the other side. Donald taking control. Good touches, good control. Realizes Rye's not going, so passes it to himself. Gets it past him, but he's going to have to back out of this play now. Nathan's just going to let everyone on the back end for Penn Trafford. A nice shot from Donald, but saved by Ford. PK, great flick, 1v1. Nathan, very awkward spot. What a save to get the last second touch there. Still 1-1. Both teams pressuring, threatening with these shots, but not able to get it through.
So if you look at the regular season stats, PK averages just around 3 shots a game, and he has done that in the very first half of this game. I mean, PK is a man possessed right now, having 3 goals, I believe, already in this series, and having an assist off of that as well. The man is having himself a series, and is a reason why Penn Trafford is still in this one. 1 apiece, both teams on the series and the game. Rye puts the dunk work on, but the work denies him as it comes off of the crossbar. Pass back midfield. That's a bump on Brian Black. That is huge, but no follow-up means no goal. And so what could have been a golden opportunity is one wasted in the wind.
Betting in dangerous waters right now. Hollidaysburg breathing a sigh of relief after that one. PK flicks it past Donald. Brian's going to get an early challenge, but Ford is right there. Gets it past one off the backboard. Is actually just going to like to take the boost, and PK, another powerful hit. But Brian is there for the control. No one there for Penn Trafford. Is going to work out in the favor of Rye. Looking to set up something off the pass to the midfield. Ford dove for it, but Nathan is there for the clear. Great pass. PK's up very quickly. A nice shot, top right from PK. I mean, you just can't ask for a better shot.
It all starts with the pass. It is a beautiful backboard setup to get it high into the air, so PK has all of the net to work with. There are 2 defenders, but it does not matter. A perfect pass to set up a better touch means a 2-1 scoreline here in game 3.
PK waiting for this ball to corral, just elects to bang it. 2 players there for Hollidaysburg, a little bit awkward, rotating back on the same side. That was a great pass, but a little bit of a miscommunication there as they ended up bumping each other. Approaching 90 seconds to go, Rye off the sidewall, unable to make contact. Brian, dangerous touch off the side. PK, a little bit clumsy on that aerial, is not able to get that one. Rye, nice interception on that, but Brian is there for the bang off the ceiling, looking for another chance to take a quick shot, flicks it over one. Nathan is there up quickly, but PK, gorgeous save on the back end of things. Hollidaysburg, oh, gotta be careful. That's an accidental pinch, but it's gonna find your net. So many times we're seeing Hollidaysburg so close to giving up a goal on these dangerous plays.
I mean, that was knocking on the door. PK doing it as well, but Brian with a huge clear ride and Ford F250. Last minute back. Sets a pass midfield. Donald and Nathan both opting to back off here. So PK and Ford given leeway at this midfield. Strike the ball back on the defensive third for this Golden Tiger squad. PK playing back in his own corner. Rye intercepts it, so it's up towards his teammate. Ford looking to catch this one low and slow, but he goes a bit too far to the right. Too excited in that jump on what should have been a goal, but now it's back the other way. Rye, the last man back, but it does not matter. That octane just looks 4 stories tall as he sent that one back.
4 seconds to go here. That's a miss off the backboard, and PK is just hitting these shots perfectly.
5 shots in this game, 3 of them finding the back of the net, 2 coming off an assist. That one assisted by himself. And Penn Trafford finding themselves a warrior in the name of PK as he is standing tall right now, an offensive weapon for his team.
Time is all but over here for Hollidaysburg. They need a goal in the next 5 seconds. This is dangerous, though. They got to get out of their half. Everyone jumping for that one. Ford is going to get the double touch, securing this game for Penn Trafford, putting them on match point with 10 seconds to go. And Hollidaysburg, they have just, the life has just been drained from them. They have not had an answer for the last 3 minutes of this game.
Well, it's certainly missing in this last 30 seconds, but I won't count them out because I have dared do that before on teams in this league, and I have had to eaten my hat, Sizz. And so 4-1 is the scoreline right now, and it looks like it's how Game 3 is going to be coming to an end. A pass there looking for Donald Duck, but it's immediately denied by PK. The game still continues on. The ball hasn't touched the floor. PK, I thought he was going to think to carry it, but instead opting to drop it as the Warriors now at match point 2-1.
Oh, this is not a situation I would say maybe you would want if you're Hollidaysburg, but it's been given to you nonetheless. So this is where you're going to have to adapt. You do not want the motivation factor, the willpower of Penn Trafford to be revved up like this. They have the momentum now. This is scary if you're Hollidaysburg. But something I really want to point out here, Foof, is that the majority of these games so far, they were pretty even in shots. You know, we saw like 4 or 5 shots from both teams, but this time around, Penn Trafford had 9 shots. So that offense that we've spoken about, that famous offense, looks like it's starting to heat up.
I gotta say, do you remember the number I told you that they averaged coming into the series? 8 to 9, and they have found their stride, this time off the back of PK, who's only averaging 3 in the regular season, but comes out with a hat trick on the back of 5. I mean, it was an offensive showcase, and it works. And so now they sit at match point, looking to stamp their ticket to the second finals in a row for them in Rocket League. And it's going to be up to them to try and find a way to defend their D1 championship.
And I think this is where Hollidaysburg, you've seen how this team plays, you've seen how this team operates, and you have to dig in and get everything from you right now. As we're having a little bit of a player issue here for Penn Trafford. Not sure what's going on. He says he's not loading.
I enjoy the light show.
Yeah, really very colorful
PK's
here.
doing his work right now.
He's doing the best that he can. I think Ryan is finally getting in here. So hopefully, yeah, he's got in here. Every player is on the lobby right now, in the lobby. But
wow.
Well, I wasn't expecting that one. This has just been a great way to intercept my entire train of thought. But yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a train get derailed so quickly and then immediately catch back online. I've never seen Rocket League launch so quickly after someone joined. That was incredible. Great job, Psionics. You don't hear that a lot. It's usually we're cursing their servers. But, you know, I was thinking in a time like that, there's going to be a small delay, and so both teams have a break of sorts. PK did not have a break. The man was just having to put all the inputs to join the team and get back off the team to delay the kickoff.
Keeping those fingers warm. PK again. Exactly. Another shot opportunity. He's not able to get that one. It is saved away. Forward, a light touch. Just looking to keep this ball in the play on the side of Hollidaysburg. Brian passed one, but PK is right there to corral that one. Slingshotting that one to the corner. PK just playing back. Actually leaving it for Rye. Rye, that's a good setup. Not a lot of power, though. Brian over to Nathan. Nathan gets dunked. Just dangerous ball here. Brian, though, taking control, but everyone is waiting for Penn Trafford. Just sharks attracted to the bait right now. Donald, that's very dangerous, but you don't get punished for it.
Optimistic.
Very, very questionable, and you do get punished for it here. I'm just a little bit lost of words right now, Poof.
I mean, that is just 2 unfortunate touches that set up 2 players on Penn Trafford. And I mean, I'll just be honest, this guy is hot. You don't want to put the ball where PK can score, and that set him up perfectly with a lazy fly ball in front of the net. And it's 1-0 with 1:06 gone in game number 4.
Right off the kickoff, Nathan, a neutral 50, but Rise there off the sidewall looking to take a quick shot. That's a nice shot to the crossbar. Oh,
double?
Double. Right, I thought that was going to be a shot, but he managed to recover off the sidewall. Just perfectly executed. Look at that play.
Got 2 defenders, but that's 2 too few as Rye goes post-to-post, goal to goal, and end-to-end to give his team a 2-goal lead.
Early start for Penn Trafford, and might I say that very dangerous looking here for Hollidaysburg, because they have not found the back of the net in close to 7 minutes, approaching 8 minutes, carrying over for the last game. Don't want to give up a 3rd goal here. I wouldn't say it's hopeless, but you've got to start finding some sort of offense. Speaking of offense, this is a great chance, but Donald almost sneaking it past PK. Is unable to get it through, and double demo coming out. PK in the 1v1, trying to 1v1. Do
1v1.
so much work, but the back wall not being his best friend.
Near post.
Near post.
Oh, just a little bit too obtuse of an angle there. And that's going off the backboard to set up Donald Duck, who goes too high. Nathan playing cleanup, and the janitorial role means it is a 1-2 game.
Donald said, don't sleep on us quite yet. The pass off of the crossbar. Nathan perfectly waiting there, trusting his teammate to get that pass. An early goal here for Hollidaysburg, 2-1, 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on this clock. So there's plenty of time here. You want to see more of that if you're a Hollidaysburg fan. You want to see more of those passing plays, more of that aggression, but you don't want to give PK a lot of time on the ball because he's going to be setting up his teammates like that.
I mean, setting him up right now, has 3 shots in this game, carrying over 8 in the last 2, and now looking to get his 9th as a soft, trying to use a flip reset with that Finnick. That's a pinch going up and over the defense. I don't think there's anyone there. That's in. Nathan tees it up and bangs it through on a line drive.
I've been made speechless a few times in this series, and that was... There's not one play I was expecting, but I mean, calculated, absolutely. Gorgeous team pinch there from your own net, going fully across the field. And in the blink of an eye, Hollidaysburg has tied this up 2-2 now, and Penn Trafford is the ones looking a little bit lost, I guess you could say.
I don't think either team is lost. They're more just finding their footing now. As Penn Trafford, they had their way. That bump coming from Ryan Nathan survives it and then finds a clear as well. It's just both teams have found their mark at different times. That's a near post play from Rye, and he bet that that player is not going to defend that near post, and he won.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of one of those unfortunate defensive errors again from Hollidaysburg. They had 2 players right close to each other on the ball. They both decided to back off, and Rye, maybe a little bit of disrespect because they didn't expect him to be able to shoot that in, but still, great shot, great placement, and Penn Trafford take the lead yet again.
That's there?
Never mind.
I mean, Nathan with a hat trick of his own, the quiet one himself, 3 for 4 in this game, but it's all off the back of Donald Duck, who found the softest touch. I don't even think he meant to do that, but it pushed it away from the wall, tied up 3 apiece in game 4.
At this point, this is just a race to see who could score more and who's going to just beat out the clock at this point. 6 goals in this game as we're just barely under halftime. Nathan, oh my goodness, I thought he was going to dunk that one into the net. That's a great infield pass. Is Brian there? No, PK taking control. Oh, look at the move. Snaps one, ankles, forces a double commit again, but Nathan managed to recover, taking control. Just flicking it past. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Going to have to back out now.
Backing out now, Donald Duck rotating dangerously back as that is just in front of the net. F250 can't find it. PK saves up the power and bangs it through. Another one coming off his car and another lead for Penn Trafford.
My heart hurts here for Brian. It's such an awkward spot to be in. PK, of all the people you don't want to have time and space on the ball to set up a shot like that, he has to really just try to figure out everything. I think he got a little bit hesitant there, thinking, well, PK can literally shoot this anywhere, but perfect placement from PK again, just doing PK things. So 4-3, a minute 43 to go. Can Hollidaysburg strike back, or are we eventually going to run out of time? I don't know.
Well, it's 98 seconds left to be played here, possibly in the season for Hollidaysburg, and they have a win to their name. They have scored in bunches, and they know how to beat this team. It's just, can you do it as Rye finds another one? The near post angle just a bit too tall, and now another one going in off the back of Ford F250.
Yeah, Donald turned up, didn't realize that Rye was so close to that one. A top right shot. You really couldn't ask for a better shot there, so 2 goals now here for Penn Trafford. This lead getting steeper and steeper. Hollidaysburg, you've got to get something going here as we got a minute 32 to go on the clock. Donald, a little bit too antsy to get to that one. PK dangerous on the backboard, but great control to get it out. Still keeping going, and oh my gosh, look at him. He's got so much space. He's got so much time. Nathan went for the boost.
Nathan?
Oh no, you can't. You can't do that, Nathan. No, no, no. It's the classic rule of Rocket League: boost over ball. That's a no-no.
I was about to compliment Nathan running the pads beautifully, but then opting to go for that 100 just leaves the net too wide open. It is now 6-3, and the Warriors looking to close this one.
I'm not Hollidaysburg best friend, including touches like that. You've got to be able to clean those up. Riding the back end of Nathan here with 3 goals.
There.
Well, I was about to say, you got to get something going, hopefully to Nathan, but Penn Trafford just making me eat my words for, I don't know, the 20th time this series. Great pass from Ford down to Rye. Rye just another great shot, and 4 goals. This is getting a little bit desperate here for Hollidaysburg.
7 out of 13 are the Warriors right now for their shooting in this game. Number 4 to look to send this squad into their second championship in D1 Rocket League in a row, and Rye putting another one in. Goal number 5. That's the 5th assist for Ford F250, and I mean, they are just running with this.
Hollidaysburg was already licking their wounds, down but not out, and it's just getting worse. Rye is just punishing them. 5 for 6, 769 points, and Hollidaysburg, they've just not had an answer. It has just went downhill in the blink of an eye. Nathan, the back pass, maybe looking to own goal. Donald's gonna save it. Maybe a little bit of, I wouldn't say giving up, but I think they've realized that this lead is just too much to come back from.
Well, the biggest issue that I have to say is there has been a lack of consistent spacing on defense, and that has hurt them. As Penn Trafford, they were not able to take advantage of it in games 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, it has been an entirely different story. Nathan trying to find a pinch there, cannot get it to fall. Rye keeping it in front of this Golden Tiger net. And so Donald Duck and company, a great season, but the Warriors remain undefeated, though they had to sweat early on in this one. It looks like it's going to fall to a 3-1 series.
And you mentioned that the consistency aspect there for this team, and I think that really what came down to it at the end of this series is Hollidaysburg is just not as a consistent team as Penn Trafford. We saw that towards the end of the season. They gave a great fight, a great effort, but ultimately Penn Trafford has been and still is and has proven that they are currently the best team in this league.
Well, they're currently maintaining that opposition, and we're going to have to see if the team on the other side of the bracket can stand to meet them. But we still have another semifinal ahead of us, Sis. This one going by way in 4-3-1 to the Penn Trafford Warriors.
15 shots that last game. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. It just went up and up and up. It's just constantly climbing up the ladder. I was like, well, if we have another game, maybe it's going to be 20 shots. But no, that is going to be a great season from Hollidaysburg, but they have lost to the possible 2-time champions. We're going to have to see that.
Wow.
But
calling it already.
That's not for a while. This is just an early prediction. I don't want to jinx anything, but don't go anywhere, friends. Hold on to your hats. Go refill your water bottles. Grab a snack, because we've got one more action-packed, entertaining series for the day. Well, gamers, I hope that you filled up your water bottles, took a bathroom break, got a snack, because we have got some more Rocket League action for you for the second game of the Rocket League Division 1 playoffs. Foof, we had a banger of a first series, so now it's time to see some familiar names, some popular names for this next one.
You know, it's going to be a fun one here, looking at the duo of Somerset heading up against Forest Hills. We just saw on the opposite end of the bracket, the undefeated Warriors continue their tear on the season by way of a 3-1 victory. But now we're looking at these two squads to seeing who will be arising from this right side of the bracket to answer them in the finals. When you look at the squad, Sis, who are you looking at to be those guys?
I mean, Somerset, Ethan, I have watched him play for a very long time, and he never fails to make me excited to watch him play. So he's got mechanics, he's got the skill, he's got the plays. So really want to see him come out and show up for this team. And of course, Forest Hills, probably one of my most favorite players to watch in the league. That's not an understatement, is Pig B. Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, I love watching Ethan play. Pigby is always, you know, a jack in the box. You don't know what you're going to get, and there are going to be times where this kid just runs wild, and this whole field seems like it's under his command, but you can never look over any more of these squads. So looking at this team, you have Ethan, you have Carson, and you have XK Bone on the side of Somerset. They're going to be looking to play that support role and make this true trio push against this combination of Pig B, Vaco, and M Gray. And at times it was the Pig B show, and it's been the Pig B show for a while. But at the end of the regular season, they had a more confined and team-oriented play style. But last week, they relied on Pig B, so it seems like they can do what they need to do when they need to do it.
That's what makes me so excited to watch this series unfold, is because we've seen that improvement from Forest Hills. We've seen them come together as a team and learn how to play each other when they need to. And when Pig B has to be Pig B, he can be Pig B. But when they need to be a team, they can be a team. So it's just going to be a great series. Somerset, Forest Hills, they're so similar. They're so good. But, I mean, I could brag about both of them. Only one can make it to that grand final appearance against Penn Trafford.
And, I mean, it is a 4-2 team of Forest Hills going up against a 5-1 squad of Somerset. So both of these teams looking to try and overthrow the reigning champion, but they have to overcome each other first. And we'll be seeing in a best-of-5, Ethan dives to make that save. It looked like the ice was about to be broken, but it was immediately denied. Vaco and company still on the pressure. Pig B wants to find a double, but not enough boost to keep it around. Another save. That is a litany of saves coming from this Golden Eagle squad. Now Ethan back the other way. 30 seconds in, it's to a breakneck pace already.
Pig B again, like setting off the counter. He made me eat my words. I fumbled my words because I realized I saw the opportunity. I said, oh no, this is so good for Pig B. Look at the bounce dribble to himself and look at the shot. I mean, it's just such a hard shot to save. Somerset, perfect saves to begin with, but you can't save that one. You can't save them all.
Well, it just comes to the end where Ethan was in that corner. I don't know what the boost situation was, but he has to challenge with a player behind him. With no challenge, Pig B has free reign, and you never want to give a player like Pig B just time and space. Carson on the backboard here. I like the idea. The pass is a wonderful thought. Just a little bit of a disjointed effort on the execution. Carson back again up and over one, keeping control here. Now off the backboard, a pass to XK-Bone and Ethan underneath of it, waiting behind his teammate in that third, but a cut from Carson means a breakdown in communication, so the offense having to hit reset.
Carson left alone here is going to get a bang to the midfield. Ethan is there, just launching that one towards the back. Now that Pig B's taking control, does get bumped out for his efforts. McGray is there, trying to stay on this one. K-Bone intercepting it. A little bit of back and forth between these two. Try to get the pinch. Is a great attempt, but Pig B's right there looking for the double. A great double, but Ethan read that one patiently. A double quit here. Carson. Instead of Carson's trying to go fast off the sidewall, looking for the double. Almost gets that one on the fake for Pig B, but still, so close. Both of these teams, they've had so many opportunities and chances, but Somerset can't find the back of the net quite yet.
A lot of times it's a mechanics match. That was a chess match on the near post read. Pig B having to legitimately wait to the last second to see if it was a touch or just a regular shot. And so it stands at a 1-0 lead here for Forest Hills as they look to maintain. Pig B once again looking for another touch here. He's 1 for 1 on the day and trying to find that second shot.
Boone actually gets faked out by one, but still manages to stay on it. A great 50, still lurking on this ball, almost gets it past Big B. Carson going back, taking control, nice touch to himself, looking for the pass. That was a great pass, but no one there for Somerset. Great pinch attempt, but not able to get that one to go off of the backboard. Vaco and McRae up for this one. Almost gets a double touch off of the double commit, but Pigby will launch that one down to the field so his team can reset.
Carson beat by Vaco, and so the ball stays on the backboard. K-Bone to midfield, a follow-up from Pigby. He wanted that far post shot, but did not have enough of a touch to get it there. Ethan dribbling it well, but he's going to end up pushing it right at the defender. That's a demo coming through. It opens up the far post, but not enough as Pigby slams it shut.
Dangerous 50 here out to the midfield. Pigby racing there. No boost, just has to take a quick shot. K-Bone almost hits it right back down into Pigby. Can't find the net, though, still. Somerset playing a lot of defense, needing to set up something on the offensive side. There's a great pinch from Carson, looking to control this low boost, trying to be a presence. Vaco, high touch off the side. Ethan not able to get contact on that, trying to warm up. Wait a second, Vaco beats out one, is able to catch up to it. No, Carson will get the save, and Carson beats out McRae.
Well, that's a dunk coming through. K-Bone near post, but that's a follow-up from Ethan as well. Two players diving for the same ball. This is not the first time we have seen it on this Somerset side. That is once again sullied an offensive opportunity. Pigby has space, and Pigby scores.
Pigby doing Pigby things. Great pass from McRae, and maybe just a little bit too much time there. I think K-Bone was waiting for his team to rotate back, but just decided to go a little bit too late, and Pigby, perfect shot, top left. 2 goals now for him. 2-0, 1:25 to go on the clock. Somerset, they still yet to find that opening goal that they need.
So, in a thematic and schematic idea, they are right. You were right in thinking, K-Bone, you need to make sure your teammate's behind you. But in actuality, when the game is speeding up that fast, you have to trust that your teammate is there, which they were rotating back. And you have to challenge to make sure your teammate has a chance to make that save. But with no challenge, Pigby has another opportunity, and another opportunity goes into the back of the net. 3 goals for this team, all coming off of this player.
I think there, K-Bone thought that Ethan was trying to give it off to him. Maybe he even was, but it just looked like Ethan was maybe trying to take control. A dangerous touch, though, out into the net, in front of the net. It's a very awkward touch. You really don't want to make those unless you absolutely have to, and Pigby just punishing them. Perfect placement again. 3 for 4 right now, and Somerset, that's another shot on net, but McRae easily saves that one away.
What was it that he went last week? Like 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 in game 2? You remember that?
Maybe he's a math major and he's just really good at like high scoring numbers. Well, hang on. Carson said, no, I don't need to talk about Pigby. I want you to talk about my team, because here Pigby hits it back into his teammate, bounces off the wall, and Carson slots that one into the net. Welcome to Rocket League, friends.
Well, 1 for 6 is the total here for this Somerset squad. 5 of them have been saved. That is the only one to go in. So they are shooting accurate. They are making these touches be saved, but they have not been the most quality shots that you've seen. Is another one going towards the backboard, but not direct towards the net. Another one sent in a similar fashion, so not even credited for a shot there. Pigby and company, they are surviving with this pressure and just allowing this clock continue to milk down, as it is all in the hands of Somerset, as they need to find 2 in 13 seconds.
Able to pass down to Carson. Carson looked at past Ethan, but Ethan was just too far up in the field to get that one. 5 seconds to go. Ethan, no boost. Can't really get much out of anything here. Pigby will get credited for the save. And Forest Hills taking control of this game, number 1, early on in the series. Pigby, so perfect on the offensive side of things. This is just the usual conversation.
75%. Not perfect.
Well, not perfect, but pretty good. Pretty good, I have to say. Pretty good.
See, that's what I was saying. Since we were worried, we were thinking he was a robot last week when he had that perfect game and then had another like 3 or 4 shots in that 4th game or 3rd game, excuse me, that had that perfection continue going. But, going 3 for 4 here, a big time start for Forest Hills and for their star player of Pick B. It is exactly what the doctor ordered. And for Somerset, you need to find a way to calm him down and do it quickly.
And generally in these early on games, most of the time we're like, well, they didn't have offensive opportunities. They didn't have these good chances. They weren't setting up passive. Somerset was doing that, but they just weren't finishing it out. And as my dear friend likes to say, almost doing something ain't doing it. And Somerset, you got close. You've gotten so close, but we got to start hitting the back of the net, because if you don't, Pigby is just going to run away with this game with those those offensive numbers that are just not real. He's just not real. He's just not real.
4 saves, by the way. Don't forget that. Four saves, by the way. It is on both ends of the floor, making plays on offense, making plays on defense, and being where he needs to be. He'll be in a spot, maybe pushing a little bit onto his teammates, but stepping on the toes to make sure it goes through. As Ethan is denied by that player, but Carson cleans it up. All 3 offensively engaged on the side of Somerset.
Great pass from Cabo and Ethan. A nice shot. Pigby makes the save, but there's only so much you can do. All 3 players for Somerset pushing up, wanting to find the goal. And what they could not do for a long time last game, they do it in 9 seconds.
Opportunity arising here is Carson looking for his teammate Ethan. Backboard read as that one's going to roll towards the midfield, but Imgray quickly to shut that down. K-Bone wants to find a second touch here. Pigby immediately shutting that one away, though. Midfield play stopped by Ethan, and so the ball resting on this offensive third. As once again, Carson and company, they're up by 1 and are trying to find their second goal.
Launching down to the midfield, Ethan left alone in a 1v1 with Pigby. Pigby trying to get the fake. Great fake. And Vaco is there off of the pass. And as soon as I said it, I was like, oh no, Ethan, you're in a very dangerous spot. So many choices.
I want to preface this by anyone watching, I'm not laughing at a player. I have been exactly in Ethan's positions way too many times, and it is just, oh man, it's a 2v1. I'm laughing because it was perfect offense. It is not Pigby beating Ethan. That is XK-Bone scoring to make it 2-1. I will put a pin in that thought because immediately they get the lead back.
Perfect offense, but it led to imperfect defense. Vaco had to touch and just completely flipped the wrong direction, and it set up the open net for K-Bone, who strikes right back for his team. So Somerset now 2 goals, 4 steals. They have 1. Looks like it's going to be another high-powered offensive game here. Carson launching it off the sidewall to himself, but Pigby gets the demo.
Pigby demoed and opens the door. Now he's got the air dribble, has a flip reset, using the defender to almost get a second touch in front of the net. And I feel like he's just freestyling at that point, you know? It's free-form jazz in front of the net and almost going in as a soft touch there to open the door for Vaco. But Pigby opting to take it himself. He's off the ceiling, wants to find that double tap off the ground. He got Carson confused. Carson, though, catches back up and has a save. And with 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to play, it's still a 2-1 scoreline.
K-Bone, a dangerous touch. Vaco off the sidewall looking for the double. Actually managed to mess up Pigby more than the defense, so Carson will take over, takes the ball from K-Bone. That one's launching towards that. Ethan is out of position, but he gets bailed out by the post. Pigby's going to take a quick shot. Ethan gets the save on the recovery, so Forest Hills can't find the back of the net just quite yet, but they are threatening.
We're actually watching a defensive carousel as Ethan wanted to save the flip, but the delayed touch, there's no one there. Carson doesn't take it. K-Bone either. And now it's a pass to Ethan, who cannot get it to fall. Carson back midfield, and a comedy of error stays in front of that net. So it's still a 2-1 scoreline.
Whatever that was, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but Rocket League does not give me the time to do that, as that was racing towards net, but K-Bone gets the save. McGray intercepted by Carson, does deny the shot. Pigby off of the backboard, a great pass, but K-Bone is right there to boom it down to the other side of the field. Awkward ball, Carson can't make contact, and K-Bone just left all alone in the backfield. Passes over to Ethan. Ethan was almost not ready for that one, but a nice turn. Fakes out one, has the flick, flicks it over. Pigby gets the bump on Vaco, but Pigby has the greatest recovery that you can possibly see.
Now it's a touch coming from Vaco into the corner. That's a pass from K-Bone to set up Ethan to clear it. And now Somerset still with a 1-goal lead with 130 seconds left in this game. Firmly in control and looking to keep in front of this one and stay ahead, as Pigby has yet to find his footing on the offensive end, but a second save there, possibly igniting that spark.
Carson with the pre-jump doesn't want to see Pigby have any time in the air, and I'd say that's pretty smart. Vaco made my heart leap there for a second, but his teammate was playing the miss. McGray, light touch. Carson actually managed to get that one. Not sure how he read that play. Pigby, great touch to the sidewall to let his team get back, but K-Bone is pressuring the pass off the ceiling. Ethan up quickly. The shot hard down. Ethan, my goodness, that is dirty.
That's barred down, but ends up going off of an orange car, if I remember correctly. It touches off of Pigby's nose, who had ended up hitting Gray near post, causing that collision to continue carrying on. So near post rotations They don't care how good your mechanics are. They can break down a defense at any point in time, and it's a 2-goal lead here for Somerset.
Big B, you cannot be responsible for all of the goals. You've got to keep those ones out of your net. Getting punished for that, but Carson left in a dangerous situation. The speed from Vaco is a very hard bounce, so Ethan setting up the counter, looking to get the double, can't find the second touch. Big B beats out one, secures the mid boost. This is a good chance, has the air control, gets the shot. What a save from Carson to clear that one out. Pig B is just doing so much, trying to find some offense for his team, but still, Somerset's defense is holding on strong.
K-Bone in control. Carson is there. Touch coming through. That's going to be a double commit on the backboard. Imgray in control. He's got Pig B in front of him, but he lost the ball, and so it's up to Pig B to have to catch the pass and restart it himself.
It's a great pass there. Double commit from Forest Hills. Carson almost own goals that. Pig B demoing Ethan. I can't see what's going on. That touch goes out. We saw all 6 players up for that. Somehow, some way, it does not find the back of the net. Pig B and Carson literally playing bumper cars right now. McGray, the pass infield to Vaco. Vaco, you got to go quick. Does get the 50 down to McGray. McGray back to Vaco, but we're going the wrong direction. You got to go towards that, and Carson will get the control, the touch, gets the flip, wasting so much time for his team.
M. Carson trying to get something here. Ethan, the soft touch, keeps it over him, and Carson,
wasting time.
Play. Is that pushed it back? No, that's dangerous. That's going in. McGray scores.
Well, wait a second. All right. So Carson decided to back pass here to no one. No one was there. Ethan decides to also back pass, and McGray scores. McGray is the best player I've seen on the field today, because that's just calculated.
1 second.
There's no more you can do. 1 second to go on the clock, though. You got to get a miracle here if you're Forest Hills. This ball has to go up. McGray's looking for the delayed kickoff. Carson did the same thing.
The Giga Brain touch, just to slow it down to make sure he pushes it immediately down. Both players trying to outthink the other. And at the end of the day, with both players playing chess, the time runs out, and Somerset equalizes the series.
that reminds me of the Spider-Man meme where they're just both pointing at each other. Great play though from Carson to delay that. He knew that all he had to do was just hit it on the ground. And I think on the kickoff there, McGray or Vaco, I believe, was wanting to just delay so he could pop it high, but that they both just had that same wavelength, same brain length. But this is kind of falling to the game like what happened last game. Both teams. Forest Hills start off very strong, and the Somerset strikes right back. Hollidaysburg, Penn, Trafford, it was like the same series. So maybe the script is falling through here, Foof.
I mean, it is setting us back up to become a best of 3. It's still best of 5 overall, folks, but with 3 games left, it's who can find their footing. And both teams have had offensive showings, both teams have defensive showings, and Pig B wasn't exactly quiet on the offensive end with 4 shots. It just wasn't the offensive explosion that we've seen from him.
I think that's what you need if you're Somerset. If you shut down Pig B, then Forest Hills, while they still are a great team, they can play around each other. Pig B is that forerunner, that front runner for their offense. So Somerset definitely made the adjustments that they needed to, but can they keep that going?
That is going to be the big question, Sis, but I hate to do this to you, my guy. We're going to be taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after a bit with the concluding finale of this Somerset and Forest Hills game. Give us a couple minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. After a short little break, we had to swap out with the legend himself, Master Hamster. Hamster, we've had some great Rocket League today, and we're about to finish it off in this crazy series we've had so far. But before we get into that, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I was getting ready to cast some D2, but they promoted me to D1, so I'm very happy to be here. I'm excited to see what sort of competition D1 brings. I really haven't been able to watch too much, but Forest Hills, I gotta love them. So I'm always rooting for Forest Hills because they, of course, followed me on Twitter. So now I feel a little bit biased about that. But I've heard a lot of good things about Somerset as well. Playoffs just get me so excited, honestly.
And today, the first match we had today between Penn Trafford and Hollidaysburg, a great series, but Penn Trafford pulled away in the end, so they are waiting in the finals, waiting for the winner of this game. And it's been a neck and neck tight, so tight between these two teams so far. Maybe starting out this game, Pigby can get some sort of offense going, and he wasn't able to do that last game, but he's starting off strong this one.
Oh my gosh, what an absolutely strong start. And the alley-oop to himself, honestly, doesn't need anyone else there. Pass to the defense, and an early lead for Forest Hills here.
I was curious to see what happened coming into this game number 3, because Somerset really shut him down last game. He was having a lot of great defensive stops, but he's normally their strongest player on offense, and he was just shut down completely. But he started off great for this team early on in this game. Maybe a second shot, but that one gets saved away by K-Bone, and Ethan looks to set up the offense, has a lot of time and space, looking to set up the work, trying to go for the air dribble bomb, but not able to get the contact.
Yeah, it almost looked like a little bit of a fake there, and it ended up working out, but there was no one there to follow up on that opportunity. But of course, as I say, that the ball is still in prime position to make anything happen. Pigby, wow, what beautiful air control here.
K-Bone going for a crazy angle off of the corner. Not something we're really seeing a lot from him. He's more of a defensive solid player, but then again, his offense has prime time. And I was gonna say Pigby almost with another prime shot. Couldn't quite get that one to go away, but both teams looking to go for these crazy shots as Ethan sets it up off the wall, off the ceiling, has the reset, gets around Pigby, looks for the ground pinch, and Ethan, that's just too clean.
Oh my gosh, look at that. So nice, honestly. Knew exactly what they were doing. Pass one defense and then pass a second. Both defenders there on Forest Hills not able to get off that wall in time to really put any sort of stop to that aggression.
This is crazy because like the first two games that we had between these two teams was a lot more kind of methodical, fundamental Rocket League. We haven't really been seeing a lot of mechanical shots, attempts coming out, the passing plays, the shots, but we're just seeing everything pulling out of the magic hat right now. That's a great infield pass. Ethan the shot, but denied by Pigby. K-Bone is there, launches that one to the side, but just a little bit too wide.
And Vaco's going to get demoed as well. I like, it's really interesting to say, you said earlier, you know, it was very fundamental Rocket League. I think because I showed up, they just wanted to show off because we've been seeing such incredible shots. And K-Bone going to get that. Here we go. Somerset taking their first lead of this game. A little over 3 minutes remaining. Look at that. Not able to get the ball away and just leaving it open, hanging in the air.
Nothing like a good old way to start off with a caster curse, because we were just mentioning fundamental Rocket League, and then we saw a double commit, one player missing, the second player just almost hitting it back into his own net, so it does give the goal to Somerset. Carson gets the double down to himself. McGray's going to take a quick shot, easily saved away by K-Bone. K-Bone secures the corner. That's a great infield pass to Vaco, but Pig B's very late, but it's not going to matter because he does the opponent, and Pig B give him another goal off this great pass from Vaco.
Oh my gosh, and that's the great thing you can see about Forest Hills. Even if they're down, they are certainly not out because they are ready to tie that up almost instantaneously. 18 seconds, that's all it took in order to get that ball back into the net of Somerset. And Pigby on the aggression. Vaco instead taking it. Pigby setting up that second man position. Actually going to be in the third man, but not going to have anything happen there. It's going to get cleared.
Looking to pass the infield, but Ethan actually went back for boost. McGray intercepts that one. Good fake from Ethan, just creating a lot of space for his team. A pretty neutral 50, still staying on this, just trying to be a nuisance for his team to create as much time as he can. K-Bone, the pass down to Carson, but Carson didn't have a lot of faith in that one, decided to go back. Ethan has to make that save. That one's going towards the net. Carson will bang it down the other side. So we're under halftime now, and both teams have settled down a little bit on the offensive side of things. That's a great infield pass, but Pigby saves it, but it's going dangerously to the backboard, falling down. Ethan rushed it, though. Couldn't quite put that one away.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking, especially if you're a Somerset fan. The ball was there. It was ready to go in. Ethan just not quite getting that touch that they wanted. The aggression, though, still on the side of Somerset. They're still trying to make something happen here. The defense from Forest Hills looking immaculate so far. 1 minute and 45 remaining. Ethan with the opportunity is going to get caught in the air. Vaco trying to make it happen, but Ethan again staying in front of that 50-50.
Oh, the bomb too. Ethan doing so much for his team on the ball right now. Just a pure menace. Look at the 50. Goes to the backfield, chases Pigby, gets the bomb, and K-Bone. K-Bone will hit that any day of the year, but Ethan, credit him for the play about, because he did so much there.
Yeah, Ethan, definitely that player that you have to keep your eyes on. And I love that there are definitely players that we can take a look at. Obviously, Pigby on the side of Forest Hills has been going crazy, but Ethan on the side of Somerset also putting in their fair share of work. So cannot discredit any of these players at all.
50 out to the midfield. McGray's up. Ethan's also up. McGray getting the better of that one. Oh, a dangerous bouncing ball is going to leave it for Vaco. K-Bone on the backboard. Good defense, good awareness. Pigby waiting to corral this one. Gets it past one. Actually past two. To the corner. Low boost. Can't get the second touch. Still trying to stay on. Is actually just elected to go for a lot of fakes, but neither player wanted to go for that one. Just a little bit of a standoff between the two. K-Bone 1v1 with Vaco. Looks to corral, but nice save there. Pigby has to get something going for his teams. We're under a minute to go, but Somerset just unrelenting on their pressure.
Yeah, Pigby trying to get it out of here, trying to make something happen. Vaco staying at that net in that defensive position. Forest Hills only has 40 seconds to tie this up. They need to make something happen, but Somerset, look at them. They are not slowing down on the aggression. Carson so close going for it, but Pigby's going to save that. 30 seconds remaining. Forest Hills got to do anything and everything now.
Just look a little bit stunned right now. There's so much pressure going on from Somerset. Ethan takes control. You got to be careful, though, because your net's right behind you. Still playing control. McGray is not biting on the fakes. Finally does dive. Ethan just waiting patiently. Actually looks to go for the musty flick. Had Carson to the midfield, but didn't pass. K-Bone's going to take a quick shot, but that one's off. Another 50. Where is the team for Somerset? No one is there. Pigby gets the touch. Time ticking down here now. Last chance effort. K-Bone off the corner wall. Pigby, you got to keep it up, but it's not gonna, actually does stay up to the midfield. Pigby, you got to catch it. He's got low boost. Can he get the flick over Ethan? No. The ball's still staying in the air. Vaco has to keep it up. Ethan getting the challenge. Two players on the backboard. K-Bone's gonna put it away. The dagger, and Somerset goes on match point.
Yeah, I think the dagger is exactly what that last goal was there. They didn't need to do that. They could have just spiked it to the ground, but instead they went for that 0-second goal just to assert that dominance that Somerset has been showing, particularly when we look at players like Ethan, who have been on an absolute tear throughout that entire game. And of course, as I say that though, looking at the stats here, K-Bone taking a very solid lead in terms of scores, goals, saves. K-Bone does it all.
And Cable's one of those players that, like, I feel like kind of gets overlooked sometimes because he's on console, but people have to understand, like, it is so difficult to play this game on console. When you're playing against all other players that are on PC, they have better frames than you, the input delay, and K-Bone is just one of those players that is so good, so gifted on his console, leading his team in this game, putting them up 2-1 now on match point. And Forest Hills Pigby doing Pigby things. He's generally always on the top, but Vaco and McGray a little bit quiet on the end of things, but they're gonna have to step it up here, or it's gonna be a 3-1 hamster.
Yeah, and you know, I believe in Forest Hills, especially when we look at players like Vaco, who I see a lot in the D2, and I do know that Vaco gets pulled up into D1 occasionally, so I do have a lot of faith in this player. I expect good things out of them, especially as, you know, this is match point. They need to make something happen. McGray, on the other hand, we got to see something more from them. It cannot just be the Pigby show. You know, you can't just 1v3 the entire Rocket League team. You're going to need some backup. So if McGray can get a little bit in there, close up those rotations, because Pigby sometimes left on their own, making sure that they have a second man or at least a third man to follow up on those shots, finish off any of those shots. That is exactly what Forest Hills needs in order to get back into it. And I say that, but they didn't lose by a lot. You know, they were down 1 point for majority of the time, and then they lost. Oh no, never mind what I was saying. They go for the kickoff fake, and it ends horribly. It does not end well.
I was about to say that was a great fake attempt, but I don't know if he actually meant to fake it. I think he actually just went right by the ball, flipped the wrong direction, and Pigby maybe thrown a little bit off. Definitely could have saved it, but he's one of saving himself in the chat. But I mean, this is what we see among these teams. These two teams that are high-powered juggernauts on the offensive side of things. We see a lot of score, we see a lot of goals, but sometimes all it takes is just a little bit lackluster on that other team, their offensive side of things, and they're going to get punished for it. I mean, we're in the semifinals here. These teams have worked their way to get here, and they're proving that they have what it takes to get here. But Forest Hills got to get an answer. They need to get an answer quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that just might be some of the nerves coming out. Ethan going to put in an easy goal. No one from Forest Hills is around. Vaco loses out on that, isn't able to stop the aggression, and then there's no one there, open net. So, you know, that first goal may have just opened up the floodgates, if you will. You know, Forest Hills may be feeling a little bit of that pressure. As you said, this is semifinals. This is D1. You know, there's a lot of pressure in order to make it all the way to the finals, and especially against a team like Somerset that is just not slowing down with their aggression at all. It's really easy to make some of those mistakes.
Off of Stilling, Ethan keeping this one in play. McGray dives quickly. Cable's going to be there. Pass down to Ethan. Ethan's trying to get the redirect. A very difficult angle, but brownie points for going for it. Carson off of the backboard and roll 1v1. Are they going to stick this in? They are going to keep it. So we're settling down here into 2v2, and Pig B is one of those players you don't want to give those time and space to with mechanics that he has, but Somerset is not looking too bad here. Pig B taking control back here. A little bit dangerous, but I think he understood he had time, and up into the air he goes, looking for the flip reset, trying to get the flip, but didn't quite catch up to it. But still, I think that we're settling down. Might be a little time here before we get a goal here.
Yeah, I don't know if you see this, but it's a 2v2 right now. We've got a rule number 1 in the corner happening right now. So these players are really going to have to rely on Pigby, M. Gray, and Ethan and K-Bone. Ethan going for that score right into the corner. Oh my gosh, what a shot. Pigby was there, tried to contest it, but Ethan just too slick with it. Look at that. Beautiful score.
Maybe Pig B there got caught off a little bit off guard because Ethan was so fast to that. And of course, that is how you play twos. You kind of got a ball chase and go for a lot, and he completely caught Pig B off. So 3 goals for Somerset, 3:14 left to go. You gotta be careful. That's another shot, but Pig B does save it away. But they really, really need at least 1 goal to get something going, or Somerset's gonna run away with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. A good thing for Forest Hills is that they're still in it. They still have 3 minutes to work with, and getting 3 goals seems like a mountain, but it is certainly doable with the amount of time that they have. They just need to start with something. Pigby trying to make it happen, just a little high though.
Vaco will dive the 50 out to the midfield. No one's there, though. I believe a demo in the backfield completely disrupted that offensive pressure. Vaco off of the ceiling. Very awkward. Down to the middle. Carson launches that one to the backboard. Somerset doesn't need goals, but they will happily take anything to keep this lead in their favor. Big B fakes out the flip reset. This is a good chance, but McGray just a little bit too late. A triple commit on the defensive side from Somerset goes unpunished.
Oh, and Vaco trying to have that aerial commit is just going to miss out again. Carson demos M. Gray, and there's no one there except for Pigby, who is going to stop that.
Go look at the speed. You need more of that if you're Forest Hills, but you also need a lot more goals. I'm so happy that you're going up quickly, but you've got to start finding some teammates, some passes, something to break this defense of Somerset, but it is easier said than done. Ethan, the pass down to midfield. Vaco pops it up for Pigby. Pigby gets bumped out from K-Bone. I've seen that happen a lot. When Pigby gets time and space, he's either getting a demo chase or he's getting bumped out of the air.
Yo, absolutely. And you know, I really do want to touch on that point that you talked about speed. And right now, Somerset is just being faster. They're out rotating Forest Hills right now. K-Bone with an opportunity. But again, you know, Forest Hills just not fast enough with their rotations, with their movement, with their aggression. And a lot of that is due to the fact that they're just out of boost a lot of these times. We've seen Vaco out of boost several times. M. Gray out of boost as well. So they just need to work on that boost management just a little bit more. And it does get so difficult when the game is moving so fast. And you see things like that where Somerset's just sniping out the corners.
Oh, Ethan, great save from Pig B, but still a minute to go. This is no easy task. I've seen it happen before, but you got to get a goal and you need one quickly. Statistically, logistically, every big word that you need it now. That's another shot, and Ethan finds the net. Vaco just wasn't able to get to that one quick enough, and this one, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's pretty hard to come back through Forest Hills.
Yeah, it is looking very difficult to come back if you are Forest Hills. 50 seconds, it is technically possible, but yeah, I'll throw all the big words and the kitchen sink out there. Logistically, statistically, it is very difficult.
Maybe that's a great setup off the double. Gets the dunk. Is he gonna put it away? He's actually going to. Great play from Pig B. Maybe a tad, maybe about 4 minutes too late, but still, great dunk there just to land back onto the ball. Gets the shot. I mean, hey, 10 seconds. You get a goal every 10 seconds. There's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep up that every 10 seconds, they'll win the game right now. So if they can keep up this pressure, but it's gonna be difficult for sure.
Big B got to get something going. Carson, a dangerous touch over, but McGray wasn't quite ready for it. Manages to catch up to it. Big B has to try to take that 50, but K-Bone just closer to the ball. Ethan looking to set up the double. Ethan, can you put the dagger away? Almost, but still, that wastes so much time here. Forest Hills got to get a goal right now. Pig B going for the demos, trying to do everything you can. That's a great 50 from McGray, but it's just going to be slightly off the post, and Somerset has officially punched their ticket to the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ball is just going to bounce around as time is gone. They get another 0-second goal. They didn't need to do it. They did not need to, but they end in style. Somerset looking very strong.
Very strong indeed. I mean, well, I can't say. I mean, if you just want to go off of the book, you know, you got #1 seed Penn Trafford and #2 seed Somerset going into the finals. So I mean, hey, we went off of that. They played well. Forest Hills, a valiant effort, just a little bit quiet on the end. We didn't really see a lot of those team plays that we notably talked about on them improving, about them coming together as a team. It just wasn't there today. But you were also playing Somerset, and it's easier said than done when Somerset is such a good team. They're so good offensively and defensively. So I think, well, we're going to have a treat for finals, but it's not quite time for that, Hamster. What do you think of that game?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that game was fantastic. I can definitely see why Somerset is that number 2 seed. They just get so oppressive on the attack. It's so difficult for Forest Hills to do anything, to move, to keep up with that speed. We saw a lot of, particularly in that game, I saw a lot of the boosts, the corner boosts of Forest Hills just getting swiped out from under them. So they literally didn't have the speed to keep up with Somerset, and Somerset just capitalized on that over and over again, playing faster and faster. We saw some great things out of Forest Hills, Pigby in particular, incredible, and I cannot wait to see more from them in the future. So hopefully they keep playing in this league for next season. But for now, man, it's all Somerset. That is exactly who I'm looking at, and I cannot wait for those grand finals.
I couldn't have said it any better. Pigby, a promising players. Can't wait to see how far he's going to go in Rocket League. And Somerset, you're on your way to the finals, facing a Penn Trafford team who's trying to go back-to-back in championship titles, but it's not quite time for that. The Esports Company's Spring 2022 Season Championship will be hosted at St. Francis University on May 21st, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern. So it's going to be a little bit of time before we get to see that. But hey, a lot of time for these teams to practice, right? Semifinals for our Overwatch Division 1 and 2 begin tomorrow with Division 1 on twitch.tv/The Esports Company starting at 3:30 Eastern, and Division 2 on twitch.tv/Tech High School League starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to do !socials to follow all of the Esports Company's High School League socials, and !casters if you want to keep up with me, Foof, Hamster, all those things. Hamster, any last words, my friend?
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for letting me watch these fantastic games. I'm so excited for these finals. It is going to be fantastic.
Indeed, they will. But that is going to wrap it up for us today. I believe some Division 2 is still going on right now. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure about that.
I think it's next.
I think it's next. It's next. All right. That's fantastic. So D2 is coming up right after this. So if you wanted more Rocket League action, well, your wish just came true. I've been Sizz, Hamster, Foof was here earlier. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be seeing you later.
Hello.
All right. Hello and welcome back. This, of course, is the Esport Company's high school league for Rocket League Division 2. We just finished up on some fantastic Division 1 games, but here we are watching Division 2 semifinal round. I, of course, am Alexander T. Kresek, aka Master Hamster, and joining me is Will Jenkins, aka Wilson. Wilson, how are you feeling today?
I am absolutely excited. We are getting into the nitty-gritty part of the playoffs. We have two amazing series lined up for you today. You guys won't want to miss it. We, of course, have Windber against Penn, Trafford, and then, of course, Hollidaysburg against Forest Hills. Two absolute, just titanic matchups that you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for game one, when we look at Wimber, the undefeated kings of Division 2 right now, they've not lost a single series and have looked extremely dominant, even against the number 2 and the number 3, Hollidaysburg and Forest Hills. They just look unshakable right now. Penn Trafford, a little bit on that up and up grind right now. So maybe they've had enough time to really work on some of the kinks that they've had and take down the Titans. I'm very excited for this matchup, especially because it has been a little bit since we've seen Windber really in action. We've really seen them play. So maybe some things have changed. Maybe there'll be a shakeup. But of course, Windber, I mean, there's not much more to say about them. They are fantastic. And then on the other side of things, we have Hollidaysburg versus Forest Hills. And this is the rematch that I've been waiting for. We've had our eyes on both of these teams. They've been neck and neck the entire time, fighting for that second place seed. Hollidaysburg was able to beat out Forest Hills before, but I love Forest Hills. I've said it before. I'm always rooting for Forest Hills. I definitely think that they'll be able to flip the switch and maybe potentially take down Hollidaysburg. It's always an option.
Yeah, I think I'm a broken record at this point. Any given Sunday is the NFL mantra. I guess you'd say any given Tuesday for this league. And we've seen a couple of upsets, so it's not completely out of the question. Let's actually get into the rosters for our game one that we got for you guys today. We of course have Windber's roster of Random and then Young Robo, and then of course WASD Esports 1. That is the team to beat. And then, of course, you have Penn Trafford's roster that has kind of emerged as maybe a little dark horse in the end of this one. We'll have to wait and see. Performed really well. We, of course, have Sea of Thieves, Stepbro, and Burb. Definitely not a team to sleep on, but they will all have to be on the top of their game if they want to try and beat this number one team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes without saying, but Penn Trafford certainly has to be playing at the peak of their gameplay if they want to have a chance to beat out against the reigning champions that are Windber. They just have been so dominant in the regular season. It's going to be so difficult to unseat them unless they play absolutely lights out. And that's what playoffs are for. That is what the semifinals are for. Players to risk it all, go for everything, and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, and it's that perfect opportunity to try and differentiate yourself from everyone else in the competition. It's no better time than the biggest stage that this competition or this league can offer. Maybe argument could be made. Championship might be a little bigger, but people still tune in for the playoffs regardless. And honestly, no better time than the present as well. So I think we're gonna see one or two stars emerge in this one today from either series.
Oh, absolutely. And, both of these teams have a little bit of a rotating roster. We've seen different players on this teams. They each have their own set of subs. So I think it'll be interesting to see if we see any of these switches happen mid-series.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where that strategy comes into play, where you have to figure out which of your three players are really feeling like they're working together the most as a team.
Yeah, and it's such a tricky balance to try and have, and I believe we're going to be getting into gameplay right about here. And right now, the action is not disappointed. Starting right off the bat, I believe there's 2 quick shots by Windber, and it was indeed saved by Penn Trafford. And ball goes back towards the end of Windber. This Penn Trafford defense needs to play the best that it's ever been. And right now, 5 saves, and we're just half a minute in.
Yeah, that is actually incredible from what we're seeing right now. But Windber does not slow down, and Random will not slow down either. Random taking that first shot from a pass off the wall, getting over step, bro. Cannot stop it, and Windber takes an early lead. But I mean, you have to give it up for Penn Trafford. They blocked 5 shots before Windber was finally able to get one in.
Yeah, definitely not making it super easy for Windber, but you're in the playoffs. Nothing's ever easy in this stage. But we're seeing Windber being their usual self. I mean, just absolutely peppering the goal. But on the other end, it's Berg with the goal for Penn Trafford. And just like that, we are back to a tied game 1 minute in.
Oh my gosh, Burb threading the needle past 2 defenders of Windber, bouncing it straight down in between. No one could do anything with that. That was such a good play. And we have seen Burb do very well in the past. Arguably, I'd say the best player, at least a standout player from Penn Trafford. Sea of Thieves also making a name for themselves. Ooh. Can Random stop this?
Whoa!
Random cannot. Oh my gosh.
I was not expecting that. I thought for sure that the clear was going to come out on the end of Random. Maybe just an awkward angle to be in. Maybe too little or too much boost. And all of a sudden, the Windber, the #1 seed, just finds themselves down after going 1-0 up early on.
Oh my gosh, and we see Sea of Thieves and Stepbro keeping up that aggression off the kickoff. Burb gonna intercept it, keeping the ball in Windber's half. This is the competition I don't think Windber was expecting. They were not ready for Penn Trafford to come out swinging.
Yeah, especially with the start that they had. I mean, as many shots as they were able to get off onto the goal. I don't think if you told me after seeing that sequence that they'd find themselves 2-1 down with 3 minutes left, I would have told you that you're crazy. But you know, it's the playoffs. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible indeed. And we have seen, we did see Penn Trafford have some struggles in the regular season, but on the side of D1, Penn Trafford is the reigning champion. So it is not unlikely to assume that the D1 team and the D2 team have been practicing together, making sure that that Penn Trafford name is not sullied, and they're giving us a show for sure here.
Yeah, and I said that Penn Trafford may have emerged as a dark horse after a commanding win in their in the first round of the playoffs. And right now, they are really helping me look good with my prediction. I mean, we're over halfway gone in this game, still up by 1. Not an easy thing to do against Windber at all.
But you have to be so careful. Windber can make that lead disappear in any second, as we see young Robo trying to make something happen, but the alley-oop, the assist is gonna come in from the Esports 1. Past the 2 defenders who were there. They even get, actually all 3 of the defenders were there, able to get a little bit of a touch, but not enough to stop the ball.
Yeah, they definitely had an issue dealing with that air dribble early on, and the double commit and Windber makes them pay with the double commit, and the third person wasn't quite able to get onto it. And even if that one hadn't gone in, I'm sure the last player for Windber would have been there for cleanup. So definitely not a goal you want to give up if you're Penn Trafford, but it's still very winnable. Stepbro gets his 3rd save, I believe, and yep, Stepbro with 3 saves. Sea of Thieves has 4 saves right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Penn Trafford just looking fantastic right now. They are playing lights out as we expected. The shot's a little high. It was almost there. Burb trying to get back to the net. The shot is just there. The double commit, they're not going to get punished for it. They will get the ball to the corner. Sea of Thieves going to run with it, going to knock it out of the side of Penn Trafford. Under a minute remaining. We see the pass. Stepbro gets it over. Sea of Thieves isn't quite ready. Burb.
Penn Trafford's team play, sorry to interrupt you there, Alex, has seemed just better than the team play from Windber right now. I think Windber may be finally starting to realize that, hey, maybe we can't win this just based on our skill alone. And almost a defensive error right there that almost leads to a goal. Ball pops right in front of Windber's goal. Random is able to deal with that. However, Sea of Thieves is there. Shot goes across, but does get stopped.
And now we have 15 seconds remaining. Young Robo trying to make something happen. Gonna pass it to Esports 1. Burb gonna save it. Random isn't in position to make anything happen, but they will keep the aggression alive. Random with the air dribble. You said it was a problem before, and oh my gosh, what a shot. Holy cow. Let's take another look at that.
From out of nowhere. Wait, Random got the last touch on that?
I don't know how Random got the last touch in that. That definitely looked like Esports 1 took full control over it. Maybe it was
the definition of clutch, though. I mean, oh my goodness. But now a last chance effort for Penn Trafford to try and get onto it. Ball floating right in front of their goal, but it gets cleared away, and Windber scrapes by in game number 1, taking 1-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it before, and we cannot understate how hype these semifinals are going to be.
I think that's the best game we've seen all year. I mean, that was absolutely just back and forth, incredible Rocket League. You can't ask for anything better in the playoffs. I mean, the speed, the intensity, the pressure. I mean, coming down to a goal from 4 seconds. I mean, that game literally had everything.
It really did, and this is what we were talking about. Penn Trafford, a little bit slept on. Seed 4, middle of the pack for the regular season.
It was a rocky regular season for them. I think now that they have this established roster, Sea of Thieves definitely a great addition to this team. He has definitely done a lot of good work on the defensive end.
Yeah, and what we talked about, you and I talked about it last time that we were casting when we were doing the quarterfinals. But when we get into the playoffs, team play is so important. You need to play with your team. You need to play together. It is not just a one-man show. And both of these teams really showing that as well. It is not just Windber. Esports 1 is not just taking full control over it. There's Young Robo making the shot. There's Random making the passes. And on the side of Penn Trafford, Burb is not alone. There are other players there helping out. Stepbro, Sea of Thieves on the defensive end, as well as getting those passes, getting those plays, making things happen. This is a team sport. This is a team game, and you need to make sure that everyone is getting involved. And both teams are doing that, as we see Young Robo trying to make an early lead for Windber.
Yeah, I think the key to beating Windber is going to be defense rather than offense, because it's just so hard to deal with that constant pressure that they put in front of your goal. I mean, Random can snatch the ball out of the air and do tricks that you didn't even think were possible. And then you also have Young Robo who can do the same exact thing. So if you can deal with them defensively, you can kind of expose them on that counterattack, but you also run that risk of absorbing that pressure and not having your defensive rotations be enough. And right as I say that, oh, never mind.
What a save!
Be wrong. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I thought that was an open net for sure, but Sea of Thieves coming out of nowhere.
What a save again! Sea of Thieves looking like defensive player of the year in the NBA right now with this action, and another save coming out from Sea of Thieves. Nothing can stop this guy on the defensive end.
Yeah, and this is what you're talking about, right? Penn Trafford, if they want to beat Windber, they have to be a defensive machine. Sea of Thieves and Stepbro really stepping up into that position, making sure that Windber cannot get past them. Oh,
Yeah,
have a little bit of a missed
like I
opportunity.
said, on the offense, if you play well in the defensive end, it'll usually open up these opportunities to counterattack on the offensive end. So if you can somehow deal with this tremendous amount of pressure that Windber puts on you, you should be able to expose them in these counterattacks. Because like I said, Windber is mostly player skill, and for good reason. I mean, there's a reason they're number one is because they're probably the most skilled team. That's usually how that works. But their team play, from at least what I've seen recently, has left a little to be desired. So maybe that's the area you try and work on. As Sea of Thieves is just absolutely just getting save after save. It's like he's farming up points right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Windber, right, something that has really showed their dominance throughout the regular season is their aerial play. We see
100%.
a lot in Division 2, a lot of these teams struggle to consistently get some good aerial play going, and Windber was kind of that shining light, right? They were able to differentiate themselves by the fact that they could play in the air, and wow, Esports 1 just gonna get a little lob past the two defenders.
Yeah, and there's the first defensive error from Penn Trafford that unfortunately leads to a goal. And right there, Windber already with 10 shots on the net, whereas Penn Trafford with just one.
That is insane, but I mean that's what we've seen from Windber. Yeah,
this is what we've seen out of Windber all season long. Has just been constant pressure, and teams not knowing how to deal with it, especially like you said with the aerials. I mean, they're just so good in the air, doing a great job at getting flip resets, getting ceiling resets, you know, going for musty flicks, stuff like that. They've been absolutely unreal all season long, and however, almost get exposed there on the defensive end. Ball popped up in a dangerous position, and what a save by WASD Esports. I mean, that one could have been bad.
Absolutely, and at this point, it is all that Penn Trafford can do. They're just trying to make something happen, but again, with the aggression that we see from Windber, all they can really do is sit back. Sea of Thieves has an opportunity, random, gonna get past it. The shot's just a little bit too wide.
No, oh my goodness, you can't get any closer to that than that to not scoring. So unfortunate, no one's there from Penn Trafford to clean it up.
Oh,
and
no.
Right in front of the goal, and no, that is exactly what you can't do. Own goal for Penn Trafford does go to WASD Esports 1. That is just such an unfortunate situation to be in.
That hurts so much.
Right there. And now 2-0 with less than a minute. Penn Trafford needs to try and find something soon. They have a few more shots on net. They need to see if they can get them and get them into the net. But right now, not looking good for game number 2 of this series.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you've been able to stop 10 shots on net, able to put a constant repeated stop on Windber's aggression, and just one little mistake, one tiny error leads to an accidental own goal. That has got to be devastating for the morale of Penn Trafford here.
Yeah, really unfortunate to see, and maybe if you're Penn Trafford, maybe see some more demos come out to try and get Windber out of these rotations. But I think you have to remember is Windber also does such a great job of controlling that boost. And it creates a sticky situation to be in on the defensive end, which is why we've also seen them perform so well, because they've just been so good at just denying you that boost. You can't move anywhere. You can't try and demo them because you don't have any boost. You can't. It's gonna be harder for you to get to the ball. So boost management is more important than ever whenever you're playing against Windber. But I think if you're Penn Trafford, you've been able to get boost fairly well. They've done a good job of that. They've done a good job of defense. I think the next step needs to be some demos coming out of here. Try and get them out of rotations. Try and force them off their spots. Try and expose that defense a little bit. They did that in game 1. We didn't see quite as much, and maybe Windber kind of catching on to what Penn Trafford was doing there. But it's a sticky situation to be in, especially being against number 1 team and a team as good as Windber. But yeah, I think demos would definitely help out Penn Trafford in the next game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Demos for sure. Definitely something to get them out of their rotation, forcing them, to lose any sort of boost that they've picked up. Something that I do want to look at on the side of Penn Trafford is Sea of Thieves had an amazing game last game, but the other players, particularly Burb, were very, very quiet. Not typical out of a player like Burb, especially on the side of Penn Trafford. Burb, usually that standout player, usually that player that is making things happen, getting up in the air like we see right here.
Oh, okay, well.
Oh my gosh!
I think that's the reverse of the casting curse. Was that caster's blessing? Sounds like a mage buff in an RPG. But what a goal from Burb to start things off 5 seconds in, and just like that, folks, we got ourselves a game 1-0 on this side of Penn Trafford. Question is now though, can the defense hold?
I mean, they've been doing such a fantastic job so far. I have no reason to doubt that they won't be able to hold any longer. Sea of Thieves on the aggression, just gonna bounce it too high. Can they keep possession here? Don't need to. Step row is there. Oh, but young Robo Random is waiting in the position. What a fantastic interception. And with that, Penn Trafford now and again keeping possession of this ball. Burb trying to make something happen. The shot's a little low. Young Robo gonna collect.
Yeah, putting some pressure on the Windber now, maybe making them rethink their strategy of being pushed up so far. And Stepbro finds his way around Windber. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find the net there, but a great job defensively by Windber to be aware, have that man back to deal with that ball. Shot on the net, and Random ties things up, and we are all tied, folks, with 3:45 left here in game 3. Do or die for Penn Trafford, down 2-0 to Windber.
Oh, very unfortunate. Sepro just a little bit out of position, not really sure where they needed to be to stop the ball, and Windber able to take advantage of that for sure.
It's tough because you usually end up trading offensive capability for defensive presence unless you have really good rotations, really good team play. And right there we saw the consequence of having that offensive pressure that they've been having. One player caught up, unable to recover, and then you have the poor defensive rotation that leads to a goal. And now goal is wide open, and Sea of Thieves takes advantage, and just like that, back up on top. Penn at Trafford not going down without a fight.
Absolutely not. An uncharacteristic double commit, a very, very costly double commit from Windber there. You're just talking about bad rotations. That was indeed a poor rotation on the side of Windber, and they are paying for it dearly. Sea of Thieves and Burb stepping up to the plate. They are here to play.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves doing a great job stopping that pinch from Windber. I think Windber's team play on the offensive end is fine. It's their team play on the defensive end that worries me.
Oh my gosh.
Like you said, the double commit, definitely issue. The rotation's not the best because they tend to get over aggressive, and if you miss that ball, you have no one to follow up. Like we've seen it 2 or 3 times already in this series. So you got to be careful about that. And of course, teams are gonna come even hungrier against you since you're the undefeated #1 seed. Teams got something to prove whenever they play you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think the big thing that we've seen here is we've seen a shift in Penn Trafford's gameplay. They
Yep.
aren't allowing Windber to play their game. They aren't allowing Windber to just take shot after shot after shot. Instead, they've switched it up and they've been very, very aggressive. And I just don't think Windber has experienced that. I don't think
Yeah.
Windber has an experience of teams actually fighting back, actually playing their own game against them, where they're just being very, very aggressive, very, very forceful, trying to make something happen constantly, and worrying a little less about the back line and sticking around the goal and more about sticking around that midline field.
Yeah, and meanwhile, while you're talking there, Random's going to tie things up at 2. There's that signature pressure from Windber. I mean, look at that. All 3 players around the goal for Penn Trafford with little to no boost. And Windber makes them pay. And just like that, we are even up with things here with 1:35 left. Game on the line for Penn Trafford, down 2-0 to the number 1 seed. Can they find this last-ditch goal and keep out Windber from securing the sweep on them?
Yeah, a minute and 20 seconds. All they need to do is stay alive and get another goal. But I mean, we Stepper with the opportunity. Oh my gosh, the defense is there. A double commit. I wish there was a second man for Penn Trafford, but that's okay. Their aggression is still going forward. Of course, as I say that, they can't get too much more on it. Esports One trying to make something happen. Sea of Thieves, the interception. We're down to less than a minute remaining. We may very well see an overtime, or we may very well see Windber with another 4-second goal. Anything is possible here.
Yeah, maybe even something better than a 4-second goal, a 0-second goal. But right now, got to be careful. Goals exposed.
Oh, no.
Verb getting back. However, great job defensively. I believe that was either Stepbro or Sea of Thieves that was able to deal with that. Stepbro does a great job of dealing with that ball. And now ball is back in the midline area. Shot goes on. Random deals with it. However, Stepbro keeping the pressure on. Ball back to that midline area. Now getting sent to the end of Penn Trafford. Burb deals with it. Doesn't follow up with it quite. Gonna try and deal with it along the wall. Sea of Thieves. Unfortunate touch there. Centers the ball for the other team. But now, potential counterattack if Burb can get onto it. And no, folks, we are going into overtime here. Do or die for Penn Trafford. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, as we expected, and very much deserved here. These teams have been playing so fantastic. I would be so sad if we didn't see any sort of overtime happening at all here. Penn Trafford fighting for their lives. This, of course, is match point. Windber is up 2-0 in the series in this best of 5. Young Robo trying to make something happen, floating around this ball. Oh my gosh! But the patience from Penn Trafford.
Sea of Thieves with probably the most clutch bicycle hit he'll ever have in his life, but young Robo will end things here. Windber probably having the toughest competition that they've had all season. Still ends up with a 3-0 sweep. GG's to Penn Trafford.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, what a game.
What a game. And, you know, I do want to touch on this. Penn Trafford has shown so much improvement throughout the entirety of this season and even into the playoffs. They looked like the best Penn Trafford that we've seen this entire season. They looked fantastic. I hope that they continue to stay together, keep growing, keep moving forward, because I cannot wait to see more of Penn Trafford in the future. They looked so good.
Yeah, they really did. I think the key thing for them to work on is going to be kind of rotations and movement overall. Because you got players that can really move, like Sea of Thieves, but then, like you mentioned, Burb kind of looking a little lost at times, along with Stepbro, but Stepbro did step up, there towards the end. So I think it's the more they play with each other, the more they'll figure out each other's play styles and whatnot. But yeah, first team secured for the final.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely agree with everything that you've said. I think the big thing that we've seen in Division Two, and I'll keep hammering this home, is that these players need to work on their aerial contention. They need to work on aerial control and taking these aerial fights. And I think if Penn Trafford can work on that, they will be able to take Windber in the air, and that is really when Windber is going to need to be afraid, need to be worried
Yeah.
about their throne being stolen out from under them. But yes, that was game number 1. Congratulations to Windber Area Ramblers. They are moving on to the finals. GG's to Penn Trafford Warriors. They were fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more out of them. We're going to be taking a short intermission while we get the next game up. You are not going to want to miss it. This is a game that I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this rematch. Hollidaysburg versus Forest Hills. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. All right, hello and welcome back. You, of course, are watching the Esport Company's High School League Rocket League Division 2 for the spring 2022 season. We're in playoffs. This is semifinals, and this is the final game of the day. We've got Hollidaysburg versus Forest Hills, a rematch of the ages. I, of course, am Alexander T. Kresick, aka Master Hamster, joined by Will Jenkins, aka Wilson. Wilson, walk us through the teams and what we're going to see today.
Yeah, it's like you said, rematch of the century. Definitely expecting some sparks to be flying in this one. Left and right goals coming out of this. But without further ado, let's get into the rosters for our teams that we have. We, of course, on this side of Hollidaysburg, have Big Poppy, Jan Force, and then, of course, Trolley Man. And then on the end of Forest Hills, we have Vaco, Hotshot, and, of course, the Mega Blaziken. And honestly, this has a chance to be even better than the last game we saw.
It does have a chance for sure. These teams are so close in skill level. They've been neck and neck all season long. And if you were watching early in the stream, we saw Forest Hills D1 team fight against Somerset, and we saw Vaco was called up to fill in a position for that team as well. So again, we've seen it happen before in the past. Vaco, Mega Blaziken, their skill is no joke. They do have that ability to transfer up to D1 if needed and when they're called upon.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Mega Blaziken when I casted D1 for a week, but enough of that. We are getting into game number 1 here, folks, and Big Poppy going to start things off with a shot on the net. Not quite going to be able to do anything. A little rocky of a start on the side of Forest Hills, but again, we usually see teams take a game or two to get warmed up, and then we see the real action start. But I think we're late enough to the playoffs where that's not really an issue.
I think every team needs at least one game to warm up a little bit. And game number 1, it really is that feeling out process where you're trying to figure out the play style of your opponent and how to best match that, how to counter that, if you will. Another thing to note, we did say Jan Force. Oh my gosh, Big Poppy almost letting that go by. But we did say Jan Force was on the side of Hollidaysburg. Their name is actually Shredder Luke for today. Just either or name, I suppose, for them. But they're going to go with Shredder Luke. Trolleyman.
Oh, yeah, it is Shredder Luke in game. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that is understandable. Shot on the end of Forest Hills. However, Vaco able to deal with that. Now we're going to see if Vaco can work some of his magic. Hotshot going to try and maybe get a little bit of a pinch goal. Not quite able to do anything with it, though. However, ball stays in the end of Hollidaysburg.
Oh,
and
my.
Goal for Hollidaysburg. Trolley Man opens us up in the series with a goal, and a great one at that. Assists himself.
Yeah, it doesn't need anyone else. Vaco not ready for that weird angle, and honestly, neither was I. Right off the wheel of Trolley Man, just kind of sent it in that diagonal way. Vaco tried to get the touch. No one else was there to support them, and Trolley Man setting themselves up for success here.
Yeah, and right now, gotta really be careful about this. If you are Forest Hills, because you need a goal, okay? And right as I say that, they score. So there you go. Never mind. Game is evened up with 3:10 left. Back and forth between both these teams. I have a feeling this is going to be almost every game we have from here on out. It's just going to be back and forth.
Absolutely. You ask, and Vaco shall deliver for sure. You said that Forest Hills needed a goal, and they gave you a goal. Shredder Luke going to get a demo on Vaco. A dangerous cross over the center, but no one there from Forest Hills there to collect on that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the difference maker is not only, of course, going to be team play, but it's also going to be boost management. We're going to see. I'd like to see maybe these teams try and control boost a little bit, prevent the other team from getting saves like that. If you don't have boost, you can't really do a whole lot in this game. And we're gonna see someone run out of boost right there. So that's another example of boost management. And just like that, the goal is wide open, and Trolley Man makes them pay for the triple commit. Oh no, that is not what you want to see.
Yeah, you know,
You are a fan of Forest Hills.
Yeah, boost management does not matter if all 3 of your players are up in the air and all 3 of your players cannot collect on that one ball. That is very, very unfortunate from Forest Hills. That triple commit very dearly cost them. That's gotta hurt. That's a painful lesson. Hopefully they will not do that again in the future.
Yeah, and I think that comes into the team play aspect. You know, me and you kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but team play ever so important, especially like this, where you don't tend to see aerials be the only source of goals, whereas you would see in the collegiate and professional level. So having this team play is so important to have, and it's definitely the difference maker in this. And we're seeing maybe a little bit of that come out for Hollidaysburg and Forest Hills, because Forest Hills just seems like they're not working together as a team, and they're just trying to hit the ball whenever.
Well, you know, every team needs a little bit of a warm-up. Vaco was there, wasn't able to complete that goal, just breezing right past, but Mega Blaziken going to finish up what Vaco could not, tying it up. Forest Hills, Hollidaysburg 2-2 right now, a little over a minute remaining. I mean, you said it. This game is going to be exactly like this, back and forth. I think this whole series is going to be like this, just back and forth, back and forth.
100%. And I think Hollidaysburg, I think that's just a poor defensive rotation. You don't see him go on that back post to try and deal with that if that goes across the goal. And I think that's the difference maker between this series and the last one we just saw. I mean, Penn Trafford, great defensive rotations. You know, they did the classic. You know, you go to the back post, so if the ball goes across the net, you can just dive across and deal with it. So maybe it's the little things like that where it's just defensive positioning and being in the right place at the right time.
Wow, speed of the right place at the right time. Vaco winning out on both of those 50-50s, just able to keep on the right side of that ball over and over again. Mega Blaziken going to try to get it out of there. Trolley Man, a last-ditch effort it seems. But now shot trying to make something happen. Vaco gonna get the touch, the corner. Not gonna happen. Oh no, the team cannot get that rebound. And Shredder Luke just going to be nursing this ball, probably going to just let it touch the ground.
Ooh, maybe not quite. Ball's still in the air, and there it is. Overtime for game number 1. Doesn't get better than this, folks. Usually it doesn't. And it's hard to imagine how it could be better than this, but we're getting into overtime. Now pressure on the end of Forest Hills early on. However, back and forth kind of game of tennis being played between both teams early on here.
It's like Pong at this point, where we're just hitting it back and forth from one side of the screen to the other. Again, overtime is golden goal, so we could be here for a long time, but Vaco trying to make something happen with that demo. Thankfully, Trolley Man is there in position. Big Poppy moving the ball downfield. Trolley Man trying to make something happen. Mega Blaziken gonna get that neutral 50-50. Vaco, an opportunity, gonna get past the defense. No, it can't finish it. Oh my gosh.
It doesn't get any closer than that, folks. A great fake there by Vaco. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we're going to say it was for the sake of the broadcast. I mean, what a chance that was. You can't, I don't know if you can get any closer than that to not scoring.
Mega Blaziken passing it to Vaco, who's going to get intercepted. But still with possession for Forest Hills. They're still pushing. Vaco beating Trolley Man, but unfortunately cannot make anything happen. The demo comes out. Shredder Luke, though, pushing forward. And again, Forest Hills just moving the ball downfield. It is all that Hollidaysburg can do to keep this ball out of their half, and they are struggling. Vaco has no boost though.
Yeah, it's so difficult to deal with pressure once it stays in your half. And meanwhile, a great lob ball into the center. Shredder loses no, but Big Poppy puts it in front of the net. No one can clean it up, and just like that, another attack is dealt with. We are 2 minutes now into overtime with still no goal, showing you just how close these teams are in skill. And honestly, game one has not disappointed.
No, absolutely not. No, I think the difference maker will be here is both these teams are very, very close in skill. The difference maker will be their scramble, because we've seen it several times where there's been an opportunity, there's been something happening here. Vaco going
Speaking
to finish
something happening. Vaco finally ends this overtime. 2:27 played before a goal comes out, and Vaco takes game number one for Forest Hills. And I think, honestly, I can't really think of something that one team did better than the other. I mean, it was just so back and forth. I think Forest Hills edged slightly in better team play. Just barely. I mean, what a game one. I mean, you can't ask for a better game one than that.
No, you certainly cannot ask for a better game one. This is exactly how we thought this series was going to start out. Forest Hills, Hollidaysburg, neck and neck. I told you this was the rematch you needed to watch, and they're showing exactly why this is the rematch you needed to watch. Forest Hills coming out swinging, but Hollidaysburg not far behind as well. They are ready. Trolleyman trying to carry the team on their back. Vaco making the plays happen for Forest Hills. These teams are juggernauts, and I cannot wait for more of this series. I'm so happy it's a best of 5. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, even more action that we get to see, and who knows, maybe we'll go to a game 5 OT. I mean, I couldn't imagine a better end than that. I mean, look at Alex. Look how giddy Alex is at that thought. He is just so excited about that. I am too.
Very happy.
I love good close Rocket League games. As long as we don't have any overtimes that go to 8 minutes. I've had that before, and that is not fun to cast over. You were just grasping at straws to try and think of things to talk about, and you're like, oh, what can I talk about? I've already said like literally everything that's in my repertoire. So it's tough, but I think we'll manage, even if there's a 8-minute overtime or whatnot. So, but what a save to start things off. Trolleyman trying to carry his team yet again. Definitely MVP right now for Hollidaysburg.
Yeah, and we have seen Trolleyman really step up in the past, but that isn't to say that the other teammates like Shredder, Luke, and Big Poppy are quiet as well, because they have made a name for themselves as well in the past. I mean, Hollidaysburg did not become the second seed for nothing. These players work very, very well together, and we've seen that. It's just there's so much pressure that Forest Hills brings, especially with Vaco being so aggressive, so in the air all the time. It can get really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we're seeing great pressure right now to Forest Hills. However, who else but Trolleyman dealing with that pressure. And now, ball is kind of in that gray area. Not quite in one person's end, but now back in the end of Hollidaysburg. And right now, Forest Hills getting some great pressure.
Ooh, Mega Blaziken with the fake. Vaco gonna take advantage of that, but can't finish it. Oh no, this is so sad. Vaco's been trying so hard, but the story of Vaco's life right now is that they just cannot finish these goals. They can just not put them away.
I felt that on a personal level right there. I feel like that is me whenever I play Rocket League. I do everything to get right in front of the goal and just can't quite put it in at the end. And right now, Momentum kind of in favor of Forest Hills after winning that first one, and even more so with their offensive pressure. But now we're going to see some offense on the end of Hollidaysburg.
Yeah, Hollidaysburg trying to make something happen. Really, we've seen all blue all game. They're trying to give us a little bit of change of scenery as we're sitting in the Forest Hills half. But of course, as I say that, Vaco past to Mega Blaziken. Mega Blaziken with the shot, but it's just a little high. Vaco tries to get the alley-oop, but isn't there. And now Hotshot has to race back to stop this ball.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity yet again by Forest Hills. I think, if they do end up winning this series, I think the big question mark is going to be their offensive execution. So I think right now they're kind of just relying on putting as many shots in front of the goal and hoping some of them goes in, rather than trying to actually aim them and come up with game plans. And I think the same can also be said for Hollidaysburg. And you can't really be doing that against Windber, who one of these teams will meet in the finals. And you definitely have to be ready for it.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it before. Windber is just a different beast. They come to play for sure. Vaco has the shot. Gonna try to make a pass. Trolley Man does. Mega Blaze can get it, and he does. Finally, Forest Hills, after shot after shot after shot, they finally are able to secure a goal. Again, Vaco, Mega Blaziken, the tag team, the dream team, the duo you want to see, finally put Forest Hills on the board.
Yeah, and Mega Blaziken doing what he does best, absolutely cleaning up and getting goals when they mattered most. So many times we have seen Mega Blaziken come up clutch for his team, and honestly, okay, well, I was gonna say it took us so long to see a goal, but then we see a goal right back by Shredder Luke, and just like that, we're tied up 1-1.
Oh no, take a look at this. Hotshot was there in position. Vaco, from Vaco's point of view, Hotshot was in position, was there, but Hotshot moved thinking that the ball was going to go a little bit more center, and so did Vaco. They accidentally lined themselves up, leaving an open net that Shredder Luke could just slide that ball through.
And ooh, what a shot by Vaco. Mega Blaziken can't quite put it in. And a great job by Vaco to stall that one out, and now ball's just sitting there. Someone take the shot. Mega Blaziken can't quite put it in, but at least someone took that shot. That ball was sitting there for way too long.
Yeah, see, Forest Hills thought that Hollidaysburg was going to touch it and make... No way! Vaco tries to clear it, but clears it through the center, and Trolley Man said, thank you for the pass. Actually, that was Hotshot. I thought it was Vaco, but Hotshot tries to clear it through the center. Trolley Man intercepts it, and Hollidaysburg is seemingly 2 shots. Yeah, they have 2 shots on the board, and both shots are goals.
Yeah, if you want accuracy, you've got it right there. And now Forest Hills, grasping at straws, going to try and force another overtime. 40 seconds to try and do so, or maybe get 2 goals in that time. Not an easy task, but it is doable with the players that they have. Vaco, not quite able to connect onto that one very well, but there we go. Center goes in. Vaco can't quite get onto it. Ball still in the middle area there. Hotshot tries to make up for it. Can't quite do so. Clear on the end of Hollidaysburg. And now back in the end of Forest Hills. Vaco misses that one. Ball goes into the center, but a great job to get an early pressure onto that. 10 seconds left. Forest Hills needs to get this ball out of their end if they're going to have a chance. And it looks like a last-second goal will be picked up by Trolley Man. And that will secure things for game number 2.
Oh my gosh, how can it fall away from Forest Hills like that? Hollidaysburg is 3 for 3 in the shots department. On the other side, Forest Hills is 1 for 15. That ratio has got to be demoralizing.
L+ ratio right there. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Shots is definitely the clear indicator between the two. It seemed like Forest Hills just, again, slapped the ball at the goal, tried to see what they could get. Hollidaysburg, patient, waiting, and making them pay for that. And I think, honestly, that one hurts if you're Forest Hills. Because like you said, 15 shots is so many.
So many shots. But I think this is the age-old tale. This is the story that we saw the last time these two teams faced, is Forest Hills incredibly aggressive. They're constantly on the attack, trying to make something happen at play after play after play. Hollidaysburg is that wall, that defense. They're there to stop any of those attacks, any of those shots. They're just there to be a wall. And at the end of the day, eventually they'll be able to get a couple of shots, and they really do make their shots count, as we see.
Yeah, and like you said, being 2 or 3 for 3, I should say, is no easy feat to get 3 goals out of. And I think if you're Forest Hills, you also need to start looking at your defense a little bit, saying, "Hey, we forced them only 3 shots. How did they end up scoring on every single one? Where was the defensive rotations? Did we get so absorbed in our 15 shots that none of us got back and were able to do anything about it?" So I think that's going to be the very large question mark heading into game number 3 here, which looks like we are getting into right about now. Ball in the end of Forest Hills in a dangerous position right off the bat.
Trolley Man was gunning for that, but thankfully...
I would have too.
Oh, Vaco has an opportunity, but can't get under the ball in the right way. Mega Blaziken, actually Hotshot going up for it, but misses the ball as well. And this is just a sad story of Forest Hills. They're so close, but they just can't finish it. They just cannot finish these attacks that they have here. Oh my gosh, it hurts my soul so much.
Yeah, it's definitely rough to see, for sure. And Forest Hills needs to try and figure out something on the offensive end. They're getting the shots. They just need to get them into the net. Maybe get a demo or two. Maybe an extra pass or two as well in front of the net. They'll be able to do these things. Mega Blaziken not quite able to get onto it. And honestly, if you're Vaco right there, maybe don't go for that ball, because while they didn't capitalize on it right there, Hotshot wasn't exactly back to get there, to get back on the defensive end. That's what I'm trying to say. And it'll lead to defensive errors that can cost you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There is definitely a time to go and a time to stay. And from Forest Hills' perspective, they are just all go. They are all gas. They are just moving and grooving, trying to take these shots. And Mega Blaziken, with just a little bit of a love tap there, gonna start out Forest Hills with that early lead. Just enough, exactly. That's all they needed. And both players, both of the defensive players for the side of Hollidaysburg, just not ready for that just tiny little tap to knock it in.
Yeah, and honestly, great start for Forest Hills. Able to finally crack the code, and this one didn't take 15 shots to score 1 goal. Said it only took 1. So definitely doing a little better on the ratio there. Brought it from 15 to 1. So gotta see if they can continue to get some great shots. But that's a dangerous ball. Hotshot, what are you doing there, man?
That was just a little bit of a misplay. Thankfully for Forest Hills, iTrolleyman not able to finish it up. Hotshot taking a shot, iTrolleyman just getting in the way. And again, though, this Forest Hills offense is putting the pressure on for Hollidaysburg. Even if they clear the ball, a member of Forest Hills is there to collect it, there to move it back into their side of their half of the field.
Yeah, and I think the question mark for Forest Hills, if they do end up winning this, is going to be their defense, especially against Windber. Best offense in the league, great at aerials, and Forest Hills just sees out of rotation. And then I think the question mark for Hollidaysburg is just going to be their offensive play, because we've seen their offensive play kind of lackluster, and they kind of I don't really know how to describe it. It just seems slower than most other teams, and it relies on iTrolleyman. So you shut down iTrolleyman, you shut down this Hollidaysburg offense. I mean, we've seen Tread Elite grab a goal or two, and Big Poppy right there has a chance to prove me wrong, but just wide. And so definitely both teams have things to work on But right now, we're worried about the present, and we're getting some absolutely great matches right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And if we want to take a look at it, when we saw Penn Trafford switch up their play style and go aggressive, Windber struggled. So,
Yep.
that may be the code. Maybe Forest Hill's super aggressive play style may win out against Windber, who, yes, does have the best offense in the league, but maybe they're just not used to other teams playing as aggressive as they do. Or on the side of Hollidaysburg, we saw how well Penn Trafford's defense worked originally, in the beginning, how well that defense worked out for them. Maybe Hollidaysburg, who does have a better defense than Penn Trafford, maybe that is what will stop Windber, will take the wind out of their sails. So again, I think both these teams are set up for success. They do have their flaws, they do have things that they need to work on, but they also have their strengths that I think will make them a very viable opponent against Windber for whichever of these teams makes it into these finals.
Yeah, and right now, 1 goal out of 4:30, 30 seconds left. Just under that now, after that sentence has been spoken from my mouth, 20 seconds now. And this is such an important game for Hollidaysburg to try and tie up right here. 10 seconds, however, ball in the midline area. Big Poppy goes down. Shot in front of net, doesn't quite go in. 2-1. Does the ball stay in the air? No, it does not. Forest Hills takes game number 3. And now narrative shifts a little bit. You got to be careful because
be careful.
Hollidaysburg's facing Elam's now. And yeah, Forest Hills has a chance to just end the series outright in the next one.
Isn't Hollidaysburg up 2 and Forest Hills has 1 here?
Didn't Forest Hills win the first? No, they didn't. Good point. Yep, I'm wrong.
It went to overtime. Shredder Luke was able to knock it in.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they should have won that first one.
True.
So they actually prevent the sweep right there. And now that little voice is at the back of your head, nibbling away, saying, reverse sweep, reverse sweep.
Yo, I feel like if you're a competitor, if you've ever played in something like this, that little bug, that little voice
is so annoying.
It is so annoying, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I bet it drives you crazy too, because you're like, no, I'm not gonna get reverse 3-0'd. No way.
And then it happens, and then it's one of the worst feelings in the world. And Hollidaysburg, it was only a one goal game, so I think they'll be fine for the most part. I could see them closing this out in the next one. But if Forest Hills continues to play as well as they did on defense, and they did better on the goal conversion ratio, but I would still I would like to see it be better.
Well, I just don't think that's part of Forest Hill's play style. Obviously, we'd like them to be a bit more accurate, able to finish off these goal attempts, these shots. But also at the end of the day, if they make things happen, they make.
What was that,
happen.
Alex? What was that about finishing? They don't really tend to finish. Vaco, what a demo!
Oh. Now, yeah, this is the epitome. This is the aggressive play that Forest Hills is known for, and they're putting it full on display here. Hotshot just walking that ball into the net while Vaco is playing bodyguard. Get down, Mr. President, and demoing any car in the way.
Yeah, definitely a rough start for Hollidaysburg. I don't think that was even 15 seconds in, and there was already a goal. So, something you definitely have to be careful about. However, pressure mounting in the end of Forest Hills. However, Vaco does end up clearing it. And now, ball kind of in that gray area. Big Poppy does unfortunately miss it. Trolley Man comes back around and is trying to deal with it. Mike Blaziken hits it up. Vaco sends it out of his own end unintentionally. Or sends it out of the opposing end unintentionally.
Yeah, unfortunately, in that touch they wanted.
Yeah, now kind of hitting that low state area, that kind of that Pong esque area. Shredder Luke and not quite able to put that one in. That one could have been.
Oh no, we see just a couple of whiffs from both sides here. And you know, it just starts with not expecting a pass in a certain way. Vaco trying to get a pinch off the wall, not gonna get exactly the intended results, but Mega Blaziken is there to follow up. Gonna send it to the corner here, waiting for someone else to be there. Off the wall. That was it. That was an interesting play, but Mega Blaziken just gonna keep it alive.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing that back and forth that we really saw in that game one. It's kind of hard to differentiate which team has the momentum, because you have Hollidaysburg, who won the first two, and you have Forest Hills, who just won the last one. So both teams fairly even in momentum, and it's also really hard to see. I mean, yeah, Forest Hills is up one, but it doesn't feel like Forest Hills has all the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Forest Hills was up in game two, and then they unfortunately were not able to finish that off. We're getting confirmation from production. We're actually both wrong. Forest Hills is up 2-1 in the series, so they are on match.
No, I was right. Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
sorry.
I was. Yeah, I think I said that.
You were right.
And then you corrected me.
Yeah.
Said, Alex, I'm never believing you again.
Never again.
That's a lie. But yeah, so I was correct. That does completely change things, because Forest Hills has all the momentum then right now, especially being up 1-0, and you got to be careful about facing Elim right now. Vaco does get saved, however. Ball dangerously right in front of that net there. Mega Blaziken getting a shot, but another save, and this is the pressure you talked about from Forest Hills. I mean, just absolutely relentless, and there it is. Hot shots with the little front tap to put it past Big Poppy.
Yeah, Charlie meant
back of his car.
Yeah, you know, it is that aggression, and we talk about Forest Hills' aggression. Eventually, you're going to wear down your opponent. Eventually, they're not going to be able to keep up with you.
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically, right? Eventually, they're going to make a mistake. They're going to make a defensive error, and that's when you strike. I love seeing Hotshot getting more involved. Before, we just saw Vaco and Mega Blaziken, so it was a 2v3, and Hotshot was staying back just in case. But now they're full send. They understand what they need to do and how to do it. But of course, as I'm talking, Big Poppy got to take advantage of an open net.
Wide open. Very poor defensive rotation there from Forest Hills, and I said that's going to be their biggest question mark. Is going to be their defense. We know that they can put this pressure on, and right there we see a big defensive last. And now, with just over a minute left, back to a 1-goal game, and right now it's 2-1, which I don't know if it's quite the case for Rocket League, but I know for soccer, definitely the most dangerous scoreline to have.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it right in the past. Anything can happen. Rocket League changes so quickly that you cannot get comfortable with just a 1-point lead. It could change in an instant.
Yeah, it really can. And that's a dangerous ball right across. And Big Poppy evens things up. That is a massive defensive error on the end of Mega Blaziken. Oh my goodness. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves a game in game number 4 here. Hollidaysburg holding on for dear life. Forest Hills trying to get a goal. And what a save! Trolley Man with one of the biggest saves of his career right there. That was sailing into the goal for sure.
Yeah, Mega Blaziken trying to make up for it. Can they get the back tap? Not so. Vaco was there, but misses it. Hotshot now has to stop the ball from going in. It's just a little bit high, but Trolley Man is there, and Hollidaysburg out of nowhere takes the lead 3-2. There's 11 seconds remaining.
My goodness, this is absolutely crazy. And just like that, folks, we're back to, or we're not back. We have 3-2, but What a goal! Faco!
Off the kickoff.
2 seconds kickoff goal. Ties things up 3-3. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Oh my goodness.
Anything can happen off these kickoffs, and we see it there. Vaco with the reaction times of a god, ready to take this kickoff. Shredder Luke gonna win it. Vaco just needs to stall. They need to keep it on the ground.
Hot ball up in the air on the end, but that's gonna hit the ground. We're in overtime, folks. Do or die for Hollidaysburg. They need this goal, but ball's gonna be popped up in their end. That is definitely advantageous for Forest Hills, who is slightly better in the air. Unfortunately, doesn't come to anything. And right now, any mistake could cost you. Big clearance there by Hotshot. Vaco keeping it up. Shot's gonna go on to net. Trolley Man shows up yet again. Massive for his team.
Mega Blaziken stopping 2 of the
that
shots.
Was a dangerous hit.
Dangerous indeed. Hotshot gonna pass to Vaco, but Trolley Man whoops in. This is so back and forth. You can tell how desperate these players are. They want to win. They want to make it to the finals. They want to take Windber on again. You can just feel it.
Yeah, and right now, Trolley Man definitely keeping his team in this one. I mean, a goal and assist, 4 saves. I mean, you can't ask for a better performance from a player right there. And on the other Forest Hills, a little interesting seeing Mega Blaziken on the bottom of the leaderboard. Hotshot definitely stepping up in this one, though. We're going to see who performs well, the best in crunch time. We see another save come out of Trolley Man. That makes 5 now in this game alone. Trying to keep doing everything he can to try and keep Forest Hills out of the goal.
Absolutely, and we saw such a fantastic play from Mega Blaziken and Vaco. Unfortunately, Mega Blaziken just wasn't able to bump the defense. Now an opportunity. Mega Blaziken doesn't get the quite the touch. Trolley Man wins the 50-50, but Hotshot is there to collect. Can he get past Big Poppy? He is gonna get past 1, gets past 2, but gets demoed in the process.
That was great. I was not expecting that to come out there. Center goes in. Gonna be dealt with though by Big Poppy. Back and forth between both teams. Vaco though. Who else but Vaco, but who else but Trolley Man as well on the defensive end. I mean, this is just back and forth in overtime. We're now past the 2-minute mark. I have a feeling I might have just casting curse myself with a very long overtime here.
Maybe. I mean, it's so important for both of these teams. They are trying their hardest. They have to go all out here.
They're trying to not also make a mistake. That's another thing to note, because I think first team to make a mistake, a big mistake, will lose this.
Absolutely. Shredder Luke swooping in underneath. Trolley Man with the shot, and unfortunately, Mega Blaziken cannot get up in time. Actually, it was that Hotshot. Hotshot could not get up in time to stop it. Oh no, it was Mega Blaziken, just not fast enough, unfortunately. And Hollidaysburg going to win in overtime here.
Game 5.
Game 5?
We kind of called it. Now that we know that it's actually Game 5 area, I'm not gonna let you live that one down. I hope you know that, especially in the playoffs. Like, come on, man. Trolley Man had 904 points for his team in that. Final stats: 2 goals, 1 assist, 6 saves, and 2 shots. He was 2 for 2. I mean, it doesn't get better than that for a performance.
I mean, the thing is, right? That scoreline is nice, but there's nothing that really stands out. Like, 6 saves is a lot of saves, but it's only 2 goals, 2 shots, 1 assist.
What do you mean nothing stands out? 900 points, no, Alex. That's what I'm getting
to. That's what I'm getting to, is the fact that 900 points is just from Trolley Man consistently touching the ball, constantly being on the ball over and over again. It's not from
there. I was about to be like, where are you going with this? I was about to be like, first you give me you convinced me it's the wrong scoreline, and then you're gonna just say Trolley Man didn't do anything. He single-handedly, I think, carried Hollidaysburg in that game.
That's without
him. Dude, let's be honest. That he had, I think, 3 of his saves in OT. He had the last 2 goals. I mean, it doesn't get more clutch than that. But also on the other end, Faco, we wouldn't even be talking about OT if it wasn't for that kickoff goal. So,
Yeah, absolutely not. I think Hotshot also stepping up to the plate was vital
Yes.
to keep Forest Hills in this. And you know, both these teams need their star players to step up for this last game. You thought that OT was tense. This is game 5. Everything is on the line
dude,
now.
imagine if this game goes to overtime too. Oh
I
my
get
goodness.
it would make sense if this game goes to OT as well.
Yeah, Mega Blazekins also looked uncharacteristically quiet, you know? One of those players that can just do things with the ball that you didn't even know were possible. Right now, ball hitting kind of a lull and not being hit by anyone, but Baco's going to quickly change that. Ball gets centered into, I believe that was actually going to go in if it wasn't touched.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you see it. Trolley Man with a little bit of a jump, going to get past the defense. Hotshot swinging, going to intercept it. And look at this, Forest Hills just being so aggressive,
Ooh,
not letting
he went for
Hollidaysburg
the ceiling reset.
anytime.
Yeah, Hotshot feeling himself a little, trying to go for a ceiling reset, not quite able to get onto it though.
Hotshot
and
getting over at Trolley Man. Is there someone else there? Mega Blaziken gonna finish it
He
off.
heard me talking about that, and Mega Blaziken puts Forest Hills up in this crucial game number 5, 1-0. However, same thing could have been said for the last game as well. So it'll be interesting to see just what exactly happens with that.
Oh no, that is so sad. These kickoff goals are so sad, but I guess, you know, it's only fair.
That's just unlucky.
Forest Hills got one, and so of
Yep.
course Hollidaysburg gets their one as well. We're tied up again, 1-1 with 3 minutes 33 seconds remaining. I love all of the repeating numbers here.
Yeah, definitely. Common factor we've seen in the games has been, of course, Forest Hills starting things off with a goal, and then the Hollidaysburg scoring, and then after that it's a toss-up. So
Yeah.
we've already gotten past the first phase of one of these games, so we're on to the second one. I mean, you would think with how close this game is, you'd think that this would have to be scripted, but no, it is just so close between these two teams.
And that is what we expected. We knew that these teams, when they came to this rematch, it would be neck and neck. It'd be so back and forth, and they have not disappointed at all. They've brought out exactly what we expected and more.
Yeah, they really have. And a demo by Baco on the Shredder Luke.
So many
See if
them.
they can capitalize onto this, and they do.
Oh my
Trolley Man with the save, but just stalls the ball out and slowly rolls into the goal. 8-mile-an-hour goal. I think that's got to be the slowest one we've seen at all during this league. I mean,
What a stop, but he wasn't able to deflect the ball. He merely just caught it for a second. It didn't go anywhere.
yeah, it seemed to like stick to his car briefly for a bit.
Yeah.
And then just stay there. Trolley Man, though, finding the angle, makes up for it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
How
Forest
did he
Hills
score this?
Forest Hills cannot catch a break. Look at this dunk. Oh my gosh. It's so nice looking. So crisp. Trolley Man keeping their team alive, keeping them in this game. 2 for 2. 2 goals for 2 shots. Anytime Forest Hills gets a lead, Hollidaysburg, specifically Trolley Man, is like, nah, we're gonna keep it even here.
Yeah, I feel like a broken record, but just goes to show how back and forth these two teams are. I mean, there's a reason Alex got so excited for this rematch, because I mean, these teams are so close in skill level. Mega Blaziken not quite able to do anything with that. Now counterattack begins for Hollidaysburg. And now you got to be careful. Tough situation for this ball to be in. Does get dealt with though by Forest Hills, and Faco going to try and clear it out of his end.
Vaco gonna get that clear. It's just centered right now. Trolley Man gonna lose out that 50-50 to Mega Blaziken, but Big Poppy is there to keep the aggression on. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Oh, this is going down to the wire. both of these teams so back and forth. Still tied. Vaco threatening the goal, but again, the defense from Hollidaysburg is too strong, is too good.
Yeah, Mega Blaziken gonna try and deal with things in his own end. Pass to Vaco. Vaco just too high up. Aerial missed there by someone. They moved so fast I couldn't see, but I think it was Hotshot. Unfortunately, another offensive possession missed for Forest Hills as they continue to try and struggle of getting the ball in the back of the net. They have this pressure. It's just a matter of actually executing and getting that ball into the back of the net.
A demo from Mega Blaziken. That is a great job from Hollidaysburg, specifically Shredder Luke, to just mess up these rotations. Slow down Forest Hills even a little bit. We're going to see a revenge demo on iTrolleyman. Is it enough? 30 seconds remaining. Will we see one of these teams pull out, or are we going to overtime again?
Yeah, that is definitely the question weighing on every player and every spectator's mind, and even our minds right now. But Vaco gonna try and stop that from happening. Shot goes on across. Mega Blaziken with the shot. Shredder Luke, massive save. And just like that, 2 seconds, 1 second. This is the last attack, and it hits the ground. Overtime. Game number 5. Casting Curse or Casting Blessed It. If you are excited for this, be sure to get some hype into the chat. Oh my goodness, this is exactly what you want to see out of a semifinal game.
This is what we expected. Vaco trying for the shot. It's going to be a little bit high, but Mega Blaziken is there. Shredder Luke stop, and again, this is the Forest Hills aggression against the Hollidaysburg defense. These team titans clashing.
So Forest Hills did exactly what they need to do. They need to get iTrolleyman out of that net, because you will most likely not be scoring anytime soon with him in the net.
Or him out. You can't let him move.
He's even more dangerous in the net, which is hard to believe. And I mean, you saw how many saves he had in the last time. Ball in the end. Hotshot gonna try and get it across. Is Mega Blaziken gonna be there for this cleanup? No, he's not. Ball still remaining. Vaco with deflection. Shot. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Hotshot doesn't get the right angle.
What just happened?
Awarded with the save. Vaco still putting on this pressure. Big Poppy trying to make something happen, but again, the Forest Hills offense is not letting Hollidaysburg breathe. iTrolleyman gets bumped, so he can't keep that aggression up. Big Poppy trying to clear it, but Mega Blaziken is there. iTrolleyman finally gives Hollidaysburg a little bit of breathing room.
My goodness. Yeah, iTrolleyman being patient with that boost. However, great clearance there by Forest Hills. Big Poppy just kind of whacking it right there. Vaco gotta put it across. Mega Blaziken. Big Poppy with a massive save right there for his team.
Oh my gosh, what a great swipe from Hotshot. It's not gonna reveal anything just yet. iTrolleyman pass it down to Shredder Luke, who has the mid set up, but is gonna get knocked away. Big Poppy gets a touch on it, but Mega Blaziken is there.
Yeah, iTrolleyman, easiest save he'll probably have in this series right there. Kind of just floating towards the front of that net. Still, great save there. Ball dangerously in front of Forest Hills net. However, Vaco does deal with it now. Counter-attacking opportunity. Vaco putting it in. iTrolleyman with the save, but Mega Blaziken's there to secure the win. And Forest Hills is moving on to the final.
Oh my gosh, and what a beautiful goal to end it. iTrolleyman, a great defense, but couldn't get in position for that second attack. Again, we've talked about it before. Vaco, Mega Blaziken, the dream team. This duo is unstoppable. They are just moving in the air in a way that just many of these other teams cannot keep up with.
Yeah, and honestly, what a series. Game 5 overtime, 2-minute plus overtime again. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And now, finals is set. Windber against Forest Hills. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait. Gonna be absolutely amazing.
It is going to be incredible. The Forest Hills Rangers looking incredible, but of course, I mean, Windber is the king right now for Division
Yeah.
Two.
Oh, 100%.
They did look a little fallible when they were against Penn Trafford.
Hmm.
May have been some openings there. Can Forest Hills, can they capitalize on that? Can they work together as a team? Can they incorporate that third man, which is so, so important? We know that Vaco and Mega Blaze can have chemistry, but can they incorporate that third man? Whether that's Hotshot, whether that's Strike Force, can they make sure that that third man can complete the team properly? And I think we really did see inklings of that, especially just Hotshot stepping up for that game 4.
Yeah, and honestly, it's going to take a massive team effort. And honestly, I think a VOD review or two is going to be in session because, like you said, a little bit of cracks being exposed there by Penn Trafford onto Windber. So definitely going to need to see something there. But I think that's going to be it for you and me in semifinals. And of course, I'll let you take away this end segment here.
Yeah, of course. And remember, this is the Esport Company. The spring 2022 season championships will be hosted in person at St. Francis University on May 21st, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. You are not going to want to miss it. It is going to be insane. It's going to be incredible. That's going to be D1, D2. Of course, semifinals for Overwatch Division 1 and 2 will start tomorrow. Division 1 will be on twitch.tv/the Esports Company, and that starts at 3:30 Eastern. And then Division 2 will be on twitch.tv/Tech High School League, and that's going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern. Remember to hit that exclamation point socials in the chat to follow Tech on all of their socials. And if you want to see more from me or Wilson, make sure to hit that exclamation point casters in the chat to see more of us and follow us on our socials. I, of course, have been Alexander T. Kresek, aka Master Hamster, joined by the lovely and fantastic Will Jenkins, aka Wilson. I think that'll be it unless you have any other final remarks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll see you for the finals as well, because you are not going to want to miss May 21st. Make sure to mark that on your calendars. But until then, have a fantastic rest of your day.